Alright. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome. Today we're going to be doing the tournament, the Mercenaries Melee, hosted by yours truly, the Dov that plays. And yeah, just getting the check-in results processed right now, waiting for people to get their games hosted, and we will be jumping into some tournament action. So welcome. Good to see you guys. Yes, indeed. Let's see here. People are asking me some questions here, so we're just responding. Hello, we got Christian in here, Slade, who is playing today, Monkaz, Aaron, good to see you guys. Alright, so let's see here. Shadowhunter versus Sarmatian. Let's go ahead and jump into this one. Okay, so we're here with Sarmatian now. Just typing out to some people. Alright. Looks like Sarmatian's still waiting on his opponent, so I might check on some other games first. This is kind of how it goes for the tournaments, but hey, it's all good. We will be getting plenty of action here, no doubt. Let's see here. We've got Crabling. Looks like he's got his up. Got Jaime Lannister versus Pugnobon. That should be an interesting one. But let's see if Crabling's got his opponent here. And let's see, just reading some messages here. Let's see. Is there any way that I can still add people? Doesn't look like it, unfortunately. Sorry, Black Phillip. Yeah, there were a couple people that forgot to check in. It happens. Happens from time to time. Let's see here. I really would prefer not to, like, start and restart the tournament, but, let's see here. Let me see what I can do. Let me see what I can do here, because there are a couple people. Let's see. If you need to add, reset the bracket. Okay, so I don't think anybody's reported their scores yet, so I think there may be a way for me to add more people in here. Let's see. Da-da-da-da. Okay, yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to reset the bracket here, but let me see. Did that just clear everyone? No, okay, so it looks like I can add people. Let's reactivate Falcon. And let's add... Da-da-da-da. Yeah, da-da-da-da. I am going to actually join one of these games that's looking like it's going to get started soon, just so that we have some action to get to while I'm doing this stuff over here on the side. And we will throw up the screen blocker. Hello, hello. This animation, it will clear the scores, but I guess it will reset the bracket, huh? Ah, crap, yeah. I don't know if I can at this point. Let me see here, actually. I don't know. Something's weird. I don't know. Did it reset? Oh, crap, yeah. It did. Sorry, everyone. This has been a little bit of an issue, but we had some glitches with challenge, so... Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Just resetting the matchups here, since some people didn't get in. Can you, Shetland? You'll have to show me how to do that later. I was looking for an option, but I'm not the most tech-savvy person in the world, so just decided to blow the whole thing up. So... Okay, so sorry about that, guys. I know it's a little bit of back and forth here, but let's see. I think this should be the right matchup now. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, so sorry about that, everyone. It's taking a little bit to get started here, but Falcon is very, very happy that he was able to get in. He's one of the ones that glitched out and was not able to join, so glad we could get him in here. Okay. Most people hadn't started yet, Sarmation. I can see most of the lobbies, but if they did start already, we can figure it out. It's not the biggest deal in the world. Yes, Ben the Barman, exactly. Yep. You know what, Black Phillip? I'll make you a deal since I totally forgot to add you in this. Let's me and you do a best of 5 sometime, and I'll just give you some money. How about that? 'Cause I feel bad, but I don't. Yeah, I was trying to add people by username, but it wasn't super intuitive for me. So yeah, rather than mess around with it for a while, I just decided let's get started. But hello everyone, welcome. Sorry, this has been a little bit of a cluster thing at the beginning, but let's see here. We got a game now, Crabling versus Sarmation. This should be a really good one to start with. Both of these guys are really good players, so I am interested to see. Looks like Crabling's sticking with the Skaven. And we are moving on. So let's go ahead and fade out the Med 2 music. We've all been enjoying the sweet tunes, and we'll just get into the Warhammer stuff. Yeah, I am going to be doing a league soon. I'll be announcing details within the coming weeks, but nothing at the moment. But yeah, for those of you who are interested in playing more competitive games, especially ones that I'm hosting and casting, I will be hosting a league soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that announcement. Probably I'll be announcing that next week, once all of this is all finished up. But yeah, welcome. We are rolling now. Oh, did Slade already start his game? Shoot, yeah. I was hoping that some of the games wouldn't have been started already, but... Let me PM Slade. Oh yeah, it's a little unfortunate, but okay, cool, Ben. He already messaged you. Awesome. I was gonna say I announced it on the Discord, and I PM'd a bunch of people. Hopefully I got out to everyone, but anyway, here we are. We're gonna be having Crabling with the Skaven up against Sarmation's Wood Elves. So let's go ahead and have a look at the builds here. For the Ratmen, we've got an Assassin, Lord Scroll, looks like slaves up front. We've got 3 Gutter Runners, one of which has poison. More slaves, looks like a couple of Sword and Shield Vermin, Jazales, Sharpshooters, more Jazales, 2 Catapults, Slave Spears in the back. Looks like for the Wood Elves, got some Wild Riders. Let's see, more Wild Riders. Hawk Riders up in the air here. We've got some Eternal Guard, plenty of Eternal Guard scattered around, mixed in with Dryads. Glade Lord, Hagbane Tips, regular Glade Guard as well, Waystalker, and a Branch Wraith. Very interesting. A pretty well balanced Wood Elf build, honestly. Lots of different tools here, so both of these builds are nice and well balanced. We'll see. This is the first fight of the day, Zach. You are correct. Yep, we're just getting started. This Waywatcher going to start blowing up. You can see the damage actually pretty decent there from that one arrow. Blows up quite a few, but oh man, the Jazale's just immediately opening up, just pounding that Waystalker. He is taking quite a bit of damage. And yeah, that accurate Giselle fire, accurate enough to even take down infantry characters, which is almost a little bit ridiculous, but he is having to pull away there, taking some pretty massive damage. Likewise, the branch wraith that's forward as well, it's going to start to get hit by those guys. Samration really needs to activate these Wild Riders to come in, start pressuring this back line. There's really nothing to protect these Giselles. And if he were to start pressuring with these Wild Riders, he could pretty much break up this entire pocket. In fact, there's really not a lot to stop these Wild Riders. I'm a little bit concerned about this Skaven build because of the Wild Riders. I mean, assuming he doesn't take too much damage on these other units on the way in, these Wild Riders are going to run over most of this Skaven build without really much to stop them. I mean, even the Sword and Shield Storm Vermin, with their heavy armor, I mean, they're not going to be able to stand up to that really high charge bonus of the Wild Riders. And here they come in the back line. Crabling does respond. Looks like Awakening of the Wood there to slow down those Storm Vermin, keep them from being able to respond very quickly. And the Wild Riders are going to get into the Giselles here. This is going to be a devastating charge. Oh, man. Exactly what needed to happen. Looks like we do get some summons moving up in the front line. Unfortunately, that Branch Wraith did pretty much get picked off. Got a little bit too far forward there. I don't know if he was maybe trying to use some magic, but you can see the Wild Riders just wrecking through this back line here. The other unit still not activated yet, still just chilling in the back, but very nice play from the Wild Riders there to start shutting down some of those ranged units. You can see the rest of the Wood Elf infantry just kind of hanging back for the moment, not really wanting to get too forward here, just kind of playing the patient ranged game. And yeah, it's pretty good so far. These Giselles are going to come back from rout, but the Wild Riders did take some damage from those Storm Vermin. Likewise, Lord Skrolk with his magic damage will actually be pretty decent there, but these Wild Riders could come, take out these routing Giselles, maybe sweep up and around the back, and start to do some more work on some of these other units. But yeah, you can see here the Gutter Runners actually coming forward to try and take down those Glade Guard. That being said, these Dryads are going to move in. Now, Gutter Runners do mostly rely on their physical resistance. They do have, what, 20% physical resistance? So the Dryads will match up very well in that melee, and it looks like the Gutter Runners actually just rout there, which is just amazing. But more Gutter Runners coming forward here, just trying to bog down this High Elf advance, keep them from coming forward, and get better value you know, out of this this catapult here. It looks like this unit of Wild Riders, not exactly sure what happened here, tried to charge into this backline, but they are getting a little bit caught up. That being said, we do have a second group of Wild Riders now being activated. The Hawk Riders come in to take down those Giselles. Excellent use of mobility there. Let's zoom in for another close-up charge as these Wild Riders just plow through the Natty Bubo's Sharpshooters. They are going to get a Bless with Filth to be able to poison. That'll slow down the Wild Riders at the very least while they're trying to pull away there. Some point-blank fire from those Plague Claw catapults. It's going to be interesting. We'll see. Those Wild Riders pulling away now. They are starting to take some damage from the Sword and Shield Vermin, but yeah, I mean, the Glade Lord taking quite a bit of damage as well. We'll see. The Giselles are able to get some good work in. Some of the Skaven units shattering. That unit of Wild Riders as well just shattered there, so that's pretty unfortunate. We'll see. The Wild Riders are actually taking a lot more damage than I expected here against some of those other units. They're just not able to get free. But you can see here that really, again, there's just these two Storm Vermin. And as they kind of get let off here, the Hawk Riders are able to come in, start to do some good melee damage. You can see the Wood Elf infantry line advancing here, finally just about to make contact. But ranged units have definitely taken some damage, and there's still these Gutter Runners in this back line as well. Branch Wraith, not too healthy. Balance of power is still very, very even, so we'll see. This is anyone's game at this point. It all kind of just depends on how Sarmation's able to deal with the Storm Vermin here, really, at the end of the day. But here we're going to get Dryads matched up with Storm Vermin. It's not necessarily the best, but yeah, Dryad's going to take some pretty heavy damage there. Thankfully, the 60 armor and the physical resistance will help a little bit, but still, they are getting pounded pretty hard by those elite rats there. Likewise, the Bless with Filth here on these Storm Vermin, they're going to cut through those Eternal Guard, no problem. Excuse me. The Dryads there, cutting through slaves quite easily, obviously. And yeah, this backline area, there's still these heroic units here. The Hawk Riders and another charge from the Wild Riders going to come in and shut down this catapult one more time. We'll see. This is getting pretty close here. Ooh, a nice breath attack there. Rips through those Eternal Guard, doing some good damage. You can see the Wild Riders and the Hawk Riders pulling back away for another cycle charge. But yeah, those Storm Vermin, or no, those are just slaves here. The Storm Vermin in the front line doing quite well. But yeah, we'll see. There may be a massive rear charge from those remaining Wild Riders. The Hawk Riders can get in and get a rear charge if they don't take too much damage here. But we'll see. Certainly is going to be close, whatever the outcome. And yeah, Gunner Runners taking some heat here. They're holding their leadership for the time being. And those Wild Riders, they are getting hit by the snare nets here and poison. So they are significantly debuffed in terms of their speed. But they are able to pull away from those clan rats there. Looks like we have some summoned clan rats. Jezzails did come back from route and are continuing to pop some shots on the lady there. She is about, what, half HP? I mean, she'll be okay, but looks like the Hawk Rider's going to come down, try and finish them off. Wild Rider's going to pull up and around. Again, the Jezzails rallying here are going to be a big problem, but we have here these Skaven slaves, the two Storm Vermin pushing forward quite heavily. We'll see. They are out of position now, though, so they're not able to support this area. That being said, Skrulk, of course, can continue to summon up more. And yeah, these two Hawk Riders probably need to come finish off this Jezzail here. Maybe start dropping some rear charges on those Storm Vermin. But, oh man, the Assassin's coming after the Branch Wraith now. He's got Rivalhide Talisman, Assassin's Trophy. It's a really, really bad situation for the Branch Wraith here. Going to try and get an Awakening of the Wood to slow down and damage those Storm Vermin. But it is enough to shatter the Branch Wraith there with the Assassin. That's going to be a pretty good pick. Does swing the balance power slightly in the Skaven's favor. But you can see the Hawk Riders come down again and do quite a bit of damage to those Jezzails. They're able to mostly rout them off, but Skrulk here, I mean, he does pretty good weapon damage, and he has that Discourage effect as well that is just a nightmare to deal with in the late game when you have that low leadership. We'll see, though. We do still have plenty of Dryads here. These Clan Rats won't be lasting too much longer. Really, though, the biggest danger, again, is these Storm Vermin. The two units relatively healthy here, and there's just not a lot. The Wild Riders have taken so much damage, there's not a lot that can do damage to the Storm Vermin. The Hawk Riders, of course, with their AP and melee can get some work done, but they really don't have the best melee stats, so we'll see. But, yeah, we're getting pretty good here. Skrulk holding out. Gonna try and summon up some more Clan Rats here, but he is starting to take some decent damage too. You can see all of these Wood Elf forces, because he's all isolated from these other supporting units. These two Storm Vermin are just all spread across the field. He's going to try and probably finish off Lord Skrulk in terms of leadership now, but there's just, I mean, the Glady could maybe come in and get some good hits in, but it's going to be tough, and these summoned Clan Rats are just going to continue to generate value as well. And yeah, I just don't see what he has that can finish off those Storm Vermin. Yeah, they are in danger of getting picked apart, but at the same time, I mean, I guess if these Eternal Guard keep coming back from route, or sorry, the Glade Guard, Hagbane Tips have decent AP values, and of course the Poison can debuff the speed of the Storm Vermin, so we'll see. The Wild Riders and the Hawk Riders not wanting to hold their leadership together, though, and I think he honestly should probably just keep the Hawk Riders back at this point and try and use their Armor Piercing to rear charge, or this as well, just use their missiles to go after Lord Skrulk. Looks like the Lady's going to come in here, maybe she can get some good hits on Skrulk here. He does have decent melee defense as well. 45 melee defense is not awful, but yeah. These Storm Vermin, realizing that they're way out of position, this other unit is clear off on the edge of the map. That's a total wild goose chase there. But that does mean that Skrulk is isolated here, and he's taking successive hits. You know, it's kind of getting just picked apart here. The Hagbane Tips completely out of ammo at this point, and the Glady going to be cycle charging quite nicely. She's able to knock over Skrulk there, get a good attack in. So yeah, as Skrulk starts to take damage, this balance of power tips back towards the Wood Elves' favor. And you can see those Skaven slaves immediately get picked off by the Hawk Riders there. Yeah, these Storm Vermin are going to be very tough to deal with, though. You can see the Eternal Guards coming in, Skrulk getting lower and lower, but will it be enough? It's going to be close, regardless of what the outcome is, but looks like a little bit of friendly fire there, a bit unfortunate, but yeah, Skrulk is still holding for the time being. He did take quite a bit of damage there, but it looks like he was able to finish off those Hagbane Tips. Now that the Dryads are coming after him, Skrulk doesn't actually have any physical resistance, but the Dryads with their decent weapon strength will do reasonably well there. Yeah, it's going to be a tight one. This has been quite the battle. Quite the battle. Great way to get started. But, yeah, Hawk Riders I say just about out of ammo. They've actually still got quite a bit of ammo left, so they can continue to try and skirmish for some time here up in the air. And it will be pretty important. The assassin going after the Glady there with the assassin's trophy. Obviously, she doesn't want any part of that, so looks like we've got some Eternal Guard running in here. The Dryads obviously not wanting to get tangled up with the Storm Vermin. But, yeah, the Wood Elves are just, yeah, it's going to be tough. The leadership factor is going to start to become quite a bit of an issue. And another Clan Rat summon. Keeping the balance of power. You can see those Storm Vermin are fast enough to actually start catching the Dryads here. And it's just going to be tough. Don't see, I mean, 4 Hawk Riders here. There's what? There's 9 here. They're not doing a ton. This other unit of Storm Vermin is making its way back. Well, they are exhausted. No question about that. We'll see. It's going to be a little bit of a a long ending here. So kick back, relax, maybe make some popcorn or something. Beautiful. Looks like we've got Praevanna Threma here on Lord Skrolk, debuffing his missile resistance and pitting him in place. He is going to get hit by some of the Hawk Rider missiles there, potentially. Looks like their fire is not actually super accurate at the end of the day. But those Summon Clan Rats have just about degenerated now. Looks like they are just about to fall over. But yeah, those shots from Lord Skrolk actually did some pretty good damage there. And will they be enough to finish off Lord Skrolk's leadership? If his leadership does get finished off, then obviously it's going to be much easier to rout these Storm Vermin. However, there is still this assassin around. He does have Encourage, so he will still provide that leadership aura buff while he's alive. And the Glady is just not going to be a good matchup to take the assassin on. So here come the Dryads. Skrolk's going to get in here with his Rod of Corruption. That'll do some really, really good damage. Those Dryads are not going to last very long. Rear shot, and oh man, a really, really nice Arrows of Kurnus there, cutting into the side of the Storm Vermin. Does some really good damage. Now here come the Hawk Riders on a rear charge, trying to trigger a leadership route, but unfortunately, the Dryads just don't have enough left in the tank. I don't think that these Hawk Riders have enough left in the tank either to take on these Storm Vermin. Storm Vermin with the 36 melee defense, only 26 melee attack for the Hawk Riders, which is really not the most. So yeah, I think Sarmation's pretty much done for at this point. He does have Assassin's Trophy on the Glady one more time. And yeah, these Hawk Riders are out of ammo, rallying his last few units together. But here they come. One glory charge, trying to finish off Lord Skrolk here, punting him away from the Storm Vermin support. And we'll see. Glady comes in, tries to deliver a Righteous Smiting here. And Skrolk's down to 140 HP. Is he going to rout? He manages to hold his leadership together. Oh, man. One more hit should finish him off here, but will the Glady actually get finished off first? Looks like she doesn't actually get a hit in on Lord Skrolk yet, and she gets finished off, and that's army losses. So Hadriz is going to take that one. Well played to both players. That was a wild, wild battle, guys. Whew, great way to get started. GG. Yeah, I think just it's tough to say kind of where things went wrong for Sarmation, but it was just a crazy back and forth battle, to be honest. The Storm Vermin, I think, lasting so long into the late game was pretty tough. He didn't have too many great tools of dealing with them. But, yeah, the Hawk Riders definitely got some good work done. The Wild Riders probably needed to do a little bit more, but, yeah. Good fight, GG. Yeah, they wasted a lot of ammo as well, that's true, on the slaves and so forth, so great battle. Let's go ahead and check in with the bracket to see how people are doing. See if anybody's recorded their scores yet. Looks like Hadriz has prevailed over A-Move Hacker. And so far, the rest of them are still going. So let's see if we can't find a battle. It hasn't started yet. Probably all of them have started for this round, but let's see here. Maybe these guys haven't. Looks like there's no spectator slot there. Just checking some things on challenge. Let's go ahead and restart the music in the meantime for this in-between round sort of downtime. Okay. Da, da, da. I think that's the only one that I am able to see right now that we could potentially join, but let's go ahead and do this. And we'll do this, and we'll put this guy back up there. Just so that when I join, we're not revealing anyone's army. Looks like we are getting some scores reported now. Quite a few scores coming in, so the first round progressing nicely. We have a look at the bracket here. I'll actually just move this back out of the way for now. You can see we've got, yeah. Hadra's Dark Elves prevailing over the Dwarves. Crabling, we saw win. Arcane the Black looks like he prevailed over Furiosa. So yeah, things are progressing nicely. Yeah, Intermission, I do feel you had a little bit of a better build. Maybe if you had just pressured a little bit earlier with the Wild Riders and not... I think getting your characters kind of picked off a little bit early on was definitely pretty rough as well. But yeah, I mean, you still managed to keep it close. I definitely see you were trying to pull it back there at the end, and if you had been able to finish off, yeah, if you'd been able to finish off Skrulk, you might have been able to get something going with the Wild Riders and the fear they cause. I want to say that Hawk Riders cause fear as well, but let me go ahead and just pop this up. Let's see here. Oh, I think my game just crashed. Yeah, they may have just finished. Oh, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. People will be sending their replays. Let's see here. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. We're just waiting on a couple things. Music of the Lizardmen. Yes, yes indeed. Still got a couple going. Okay. Da, da, da. Let me see here. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Sorry guys, just dealing with some administrative things here. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Okay, we're just about done with the round here. Just having to sort out some issues here. Yeah, we have two people who still haven't started because somebody's having issues, so I'm just gonna give out a win, and we'll move on. Because I'm not really trying to wait too long. Let's see here that these guys have started. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Yeah, that is correct, Hadris. Yep, it will. So we're just waiting on a couple more games here. We've got Pugnobon, Demandrid still playing. This one, they haven't recorded their scores yet, so... Looks like these guys are both ready, though, so perfect. Perfect timing. We will get this going. So we've got one more round one matchup between Jaime Lannister and Sim, who is playing Norsca. We've got Empire versus Norsca. Should be a super fun matchup. I personally am a big fan of this matchup, so... Alright. Alright. Great. Hey, Loopy. What's up, man? I just saw you send me your first replay. So, for those of you guys who don't know, if we just quickly, while these guys are loading in, so the way that this works is each player picks a faction to use the whole time, but in any round they can choose to go with another faction. However, they have to use one of the lords on this list. And there is a prize for the person who gets the most wins using these lords. So, they have to submit their replays for evidence. Thus, you guys will be seeing those replays on the channel as well. But, sorry, Ben, I don't think so. Are these guys using large armies? They might have been. Large armies are not allowed. I think they were. I meant to change that. But, yeah. So, basically, if they get the most wins with the meme lords, then they get a prize. It's a $50 cash prize. Pretty significant. Almost, it's like, what, half as much as the first place prize? First place is $100. So, yeah, there's definitely some prize money on the table for everyone. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Loopy. You can use the same one every time if you want. So, yep, alright, let's go ahead and fade the music out, and we will get to these armies here. So, for the Empire, we've got Volkmar the Grim up front, heavy line of greatswords, 3 greatswords, got 2 spearmen with shields, Demigryph knights with halberds, crossbowmen, and halberdiers. So, a very tight and elite Empire army. I'm very curious to see how this goes. Yeah, Volkmar the Grim, interesting choice, certainly. Up against this Norscan build as well, looks like we've got Famir and Skin Wolves, Wulfric the Wanderer, and a Shaman Sorcerer, Lore of Death, 3 units of Berserkers, 3 Marauders, got some Ice Wolves, some Marauder Spears out to the flanks, and let's see here, we've got more Skin Wolves, and the Beasts of Tashnar. So, yeah, both pretty interesting builds. And here we go. We are just about ready. This is an interesting matchup. Hey, Bloob, good to see you, man. Somebody let the dogs out. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. When you're playing Norsca, you gotta let the dogs out. Surprised we don't see the Miststalkers here. Personally, I'm a huge, huge fan of the Miststalkers because of the terror. I don't think there's actually any terror-causing units for Norsca here. Yeah, there's nothing that causes terror, which is, in my opinion, a little bit of a mistake. You almost always want to have at least one unit that causes terror, but yes, it does, Hadriz. Yep, if you use a meme lord from your chosen faction, that does count towards the limit there. So cool. Looks like these guys are both ready. Let's get it going. You can see these guys sizing each other up. This tight little Empire pocket going to be making its way forward here. We'll see. This Death Star could just potentially plow through everything, but there's a lot of Skin Wolves here. Let's see. What does that Death Sorcerer have? Spirit Leech. Is that Soul Blight and Fate of Buna? Very good choices. So the Soul Blight's Armor Sundering will help against the Demigryphs and the Greatswords because Skin Wolves don't have the best AP values in the world. If we have a look here, they're 21 AP, which is not the worst, but it's not amazing. 30 bonus versus large is pretty substantial, but certainly the Armor Sundering will help. But, yeah, you can see pushing forward here. Crossbowmen are going to probably start to open up, I would imagine, on the Berserkers, or pretty much just anything that they can get their hands on here. And then that's going to force the Norscans to kind of advance a little bit here. Jamie staying nice and tight. And dropping some shots on those Marauders. They're taking minimal damage at the time being. Probably almost might be more worth shooting at the Spearmen just because they don't have shields. But yeah, looks like switching now onto the Famir. This isn't going to do very much damage because of the 110 armor and the fact that Famir do have 22% missile resistance baseline. Because of that From the Miss ability. So yeah, Volkmar and the Greatswords pushing forward. Going to be engaging the Norscan main line here. Somebody going for a ride there. And yeah, Greatsword's just kind of blobbing in a little bit. Volkmar is going to be dropping some buffs. We've got a Grand Soulfire here. Going to be doing some good damage. And yeah, the Norscan infantry is not going to like this. That being said, there is this giant flanking force coming through the woods, completely unseen. And that will be able to get a full surround probably on the Empire. So we'll see. They are kind of sacrificing that a little bit. And you can see Wulfric comes in to start to do some damage for on Volkmar, that is. The Greatswords, or sorry, Demigryph's going to push forward. Oh man, that's a brutal boat right there. Those ranked up Spearmen, probably pretty expensive. Those Spearmen with shields up to 56 melee defense, 51 melee attack with the buff there. But the Halberdiers and the Spearmen going to move in to try and counter those Norscan Ice Wolves. Norscan Ice Wolves actually do count as large. Unlike most other Hound units, they do count as large. But, oh man, we got a banishment going down in the back line. Looks like it ripped through some of those berserkers. The marauders really not doing well here. The berserkers and the marauders just getting cut up by greatswords. This elite empire pocket holding well for the time being. The Famir are a little bit late on the follow-up. They needed to be just right on top of those marauder berserkers in order to sunder the armor of the greatswords. That'll allow the berserkers to trade much more cost effectively, but you can see the Famir just coming in way too late at this point. The berserkers have mostly been cut through already, and you can see the Death Sorcerer has also been dealt with as well. So Empire playing nice and tight here. Gonna start to take some damage from those Famir, but you can see the Demigryph Knights come in, and the Banner of Eternal Flame here on the Warrior Priest means that everything here has flaming attacks. That is going to be a nightmare for these Skin Wolves. Like these ranked up spears, these Halberdiers, Demigryph Knights, everything has anti-large and flaming damage with that Warrior Priest around. So yeah, I'll absolutely love the use of the Banner of Eternal Flame here. You can see the greatswords, several units have taken quite a bit of damage, but there's still quite a bit of healthy infantry as well for the Empire. And they are pulling ahead quite handily on the balance of power. Norsca is just not able to get into this tight defensive position here. And, yeah. It's fighty. Approved by Slade. Awesome. Yeah, nice melee-focused Empire army. I like this kind of elite small Empire army. This is very different from how I would typically play the Empire, but it's working very well here. Absolutely, these Famir are getting punished pretty badly, and you can see just the Empire infantry holding the line all over the board here. Some great swords are going to be dealt with. This one out on the flank here is a little bit isolated, and the Warrior Priest is also going to have to be careful. His flaming damage is going to be pretty key here, so yeah, probably needs to come support. Looks like we have another boat there. Does a ton of damage to those crossbowmen, but likewise, the Warrior Priest is going to extricate himself from those Skin Wolves. Make sure he comes in here. And yeah, look at all of this flaming damage, man. And with the Hammer of Sigmar too, 56 melee attack on those Halberdiers means they're going to be getting some nasty damage done. Absolutely brutal stuff. This is, yeah, I actually haven't seen an Empire build like this in quite a while. So it's interesting to see, but it's working, certainly. The Halberdiers going to take a charge here, but thankfully they do mostly block the Skin Wolves from coming in. And, yeah, looks like we're going to have a big old Soul Blight cast in here, debuffing everyone's armor and weapon strength, but again, the flaming attacks coming in. You've got Shield of Faith as well from Volkmar helping to mitigate some of that damage. The Demigryph Knights come in. They also get the Grand Hammer of Sigmar juicing up their melee attack as well, and yeah, you can see those Skin Wolves just getting punished super, super hard here. And just in general, the Norscan forces are starting to fall apart. They really don't have the sustain to fight in a battle like this, so yep. Nice, tight Empire Death Star. Nothing like it. Those great swords getting a healing as well on Extended Earthblood with that fully healthy unit. Looks like Sim is going to admit defeat there. And Jaime Lannister takes it with Volkmar's Empire Death Star. Awesome. That's super cool, man. Super, super cool. And excellent use of the Banner of Eternal Flame there. Basically getting his entire army with that. And yeah, I mean, the Famir, again, they were a little late on the follow-up. I also think that he should have brought the Regiment of Renown version, because the Terror would have been good enough to terrify away some of those like great swords who were getting relatively tattered. You know, the Demigryph Knights, if they got low enough on leadership, could potentially get terrified away as well. So definitely want to try and take the Regiment of Renown version, but still, fun battle. That was great. So let's go ahead and move on. Looks like we're just, yeah. We'll go ahead and put that one on, and round 2 is up. Okay, so let's go ahead and put it in. So round 2 has begun. If we go ahead and have a look here, you can see the matchups have populated. All right. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right, so we will wait for some people to get their stuff hosted. Ooh, we're gonna have Chief versus Falcon, huh? I think we'll have to watch that one, because that looks like that is gonna be a good game. So let's jump into this one. And I will go ahead and put up the screen blocker. Okay, and I am going to go grab a drink of water, and I will be right back. Give me just a second. Oh, okay. We are back now. Hello. Looks like we've got a super thematic matchup this time. Averlorn versus... what is this? The Blessed Dread? Is that the name of Lokir Felhart's faction? Alright. Averlorn versus Blessed Dread. Should be interesting. Hey! We have already started, Red Spotted Drake. Sorry, I was just on a quick break. I really should make mid-screens like, be right back, you know, countdown, starting soon, thanks for coming, you know. I probably should do that, but... Yep. We are moving. So, just as a reminder, while these guys are picking their armies, let's go ahead and remind ourselves, for those of you just joining, what's going on. We've got this here tournament, and you can see we've gone through round 1, we're already on round 2. There are 6 rounds to be played, and if there's not a clear winner, then we'll have a playoff at the end. But there should be a clear winner after 6 rounds. Yeah. You pick one faction and use it the whole time. It's Swiss style, so no one gets eliminated. You play every round, and you can choose to use, instead of the faction that you picked, in any round you can choose to option into one of the following. You have to use one of these lords, though. And so, for example, in this one, for the Dark Elves, I believe Falcon's... If we go ahead and have a look at the bracket here, we can see Falcon's faction choice is Lizardmen. However, he is playing Blessed Dread, so if we go on this list and have a look at the Dark Elves, wherever they are, if I can find them, here they are, so he can take either a Dreadlord or Lokir Felhart, so we will be seeing one of those two options. Whoops. There we go. Lizards. Yeah, we should be seeing some lizards sometime today, but all right. Looks like these guys are going to get it going, so we'll go ahead and get this going and do the old switcheroo here. There we go. All right. So, round 2, the map is Dock Karaz. A nice open map. We got some muddy flats and some lowlands over here, but for the most part, it's a relatively open map. There are a few little scattered patches of these scrubby woods, which you can hide in, but for the most part, it's pretty clear. So, let's have a look at what both of these players have brought to the table. For the Wood Elves, we've got 3 units of Valyrian Reavers, double Noble Chariot with a Lariel, no surprises there. Front line of Spearmen, second line of 5 Dryads, and this is why you take Avalorn, guys. Take some notes here. I've got some replays coming up on the channel of me using Avalorn as well, making heavy use of Dryads, but this is why the Avalorn sub-faction is the best way to play the High Elves, in my opinion, because you get access to those Dryads. They give you another cheap DPS option. It's really, really nice. We do have some Archers as well, and that's pretty much it. For the hated rivalry, the Dark Elves, we've got Malekith, or sorry, of course not Malekith. Lokir Fellheart is the option lord for this one, naturally leading the Blessed Dread. We've got plenty of Dread Spears, a Death Sorceress, Shades, and 3 units of Cold One Knights and the Slaanesha's Harvesters. So pretty heavy on the cav here. I'm very interested to see how this goes. So the Slaanesha's Harvesters are going to be really, really good against the Dryads because they do magic damage, they have poison, they have really good weapon strength, 13 AP with 45 total weapon strength, and of course Word of Pain and Soul Stealer on the Regiment of Renown. So yeah, you can see right off the bat these guys are getting started here. And the Dark Elves going to be pushing forward, looking like they're maybe going to try and overload on one side here, potentially. But we'll see. Lokir, there's honestly not a lot on the High Elf roster that can deal with Lokir on the Dragon. So I'm curious to see how he goes about doing that exactly. There's just not a whole lot of anti-large armor piercing here. In fact, there's pretty much no armor piercing whatsoever. Very little anti-large. So yeah, I think Lokir up on the Dragon, especially because he has regeneration, is going to be a big, big pain to deal with. But you can see Shades coming forward here. They're going to start to do some good damage on those Dryads. The Archers will return fire. Nope, looks like they're actually going after the Sorceress, maybe. They should be returning fire on those Shades. That'll be great, great value. But here come... Oh, man. Ooh, those Doomfire Warlocks, again, they're going to be so, so good against the Dryads. They'll just do a quick hit and run charge there, and you can see how much damage they did with the Shades as well. Yeah, it's going to be tough. The High Elf, honestly, probably needs to push forward at this point, but a Soul Stealer, excuse me, already from the Slaanesha's Harvesters, as they put a Word of Pain in on those Valyrian Reavers and try and dive down, you can see how much damage they do, and oh man, yeah, this is not going well for the High Elves right out of the gates. He needs to start playing a little bit more aggressively and get out of this defensive position here, because right now he's just getting picked apart by this aggressive play from Felcon here. Lokir going to get back up in the air. The Cold One Knights pulling back away. Just quick hit and run charges all across the board is the order of the day here. And it looks like finally the High Elves realizing that they need to push forward now and engage here. One of the Noble Chariots has already taken so much damage from those Shades, man. That is... as somebody who kind of detests the Noble Chariots just a little bit, I mean, they are very, very good, but yeah, I mean, they're just such a common pick, especially with Alariel, that it's kind of nice to see them get just absolutely gunned down sometimes. I'm totally not biased, guys, I promise. Yeah, Cold One Knight's getting a good charge in here. They are charging into Spearmen and Dryads, which is not super ideal, but, I mean, they can just pull away from the Spearmen there, and oh, boy, oh, it's all over now, folks. It's all over. Alariel just got caught up by Lokir. She's going to desperately try and heal herself and fly away, but oh man, Lokir then just drops down and it's going to annihilate this chariot. Yeah, that Noble is absolutely done for, down to 300 HP. This other Noble is not going to do a whole lot, and yeah, I just don't see what the High Elves can really do against this build. I really think that they brought just the wrong build. I mean, against like a more infantry-focused build, I could see this High Elf build working out quite well, and the Dryads I do think are a really good pick, but just the lack of anti-large AP here is a huge problem. That being said, Lokir has come down to the ground, and Alariel's managed to heal herself up with the support of the Noble Chariot and everything else. Lokir's actually taking some pretty good damage here. You can see the Spearmen also getting some good work done, and yeah, Lokir needs to actually get out of this situation here. He is taking way too much damage, but... Excuse me. You can see the Cav, though, is going to pull up and around, start to get into a position to support Lokir. Oh man, that friendly fire might actually be doing a lot of damage from those shades, though. Thankfully, he did pull those units out of the healing effect, though, so he is going to negate a lot of the use there. But, oh man, I don't know what did so much damage to Loki here. Was that Alariel and the Chariot, probably? I mean, the Noble Chariot does have 300 weapon strength, so looks like the Dark Elf Cav is probably going to be able to get in here and bail out Loki here. It looks like he's actually not able to path through his own cav there, which is a little bit awkward, and he actually shatters. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Wow. Wow, yeah, they might have just got that back there. Credit to Chief staying calm and just getting a nice surround, just overwhelming Loki here with resources, basically. And Overcast Foz protection there to boost some melee defense and armor of these various units here. Try and get them to hold a little bit longer, but wow. Wow, I totally thought Chief was completely done for there. It was really not going well for him, but we'll see. I mean, there's still quite a bit to get through. We do still have Shades as well. They are going to be probably opening up on Alariel and trying to finish her off, maybe, or it looks like going after the archers instead. I would probably try and finish off Alariel or the Noble Chariot if it were me, but we'll see. It does look like the Cav are going to do just that, and Noble Chariot is going after the Sorceress here, obviously trying to take out the last of the leadership. Yeah, you can see the Noble Chariot, despite the fact that it's meant to fight infantry, can do damage to large. It's not amazing, but oh man, those Shades now unloading on Alariel. She just instantly falls over. And with the lack of healing, now it's going to be pretty tough. I mean, granted, again, the Noble is still here for leadership support, but now the Shades can turn and fire on the Noble, and yeah, that's going to be all over. So the Shades, while originally it looked like the High Elves may have been able to pull that one back, the Shades just making their armor-piercing power felt and wrecking the High Elf elite units here. And at this point, yeah, I think the Shades can probably take this by themselves. Yeah. Man, that was a battle. Woo! That was a battle. A lot of back and forth. A relatively quick back and forth, too, but holy cow. Woo! That was a fun one. Still not completely over yet, but this Death Sorceress is probably going to chase the Noble off here. There is still this other Noble who did catch a word of pain from those Tattered Slaanesh Harvesters before they routed there, so we'll see. It's, yeah, he's got 0 melee attack right now, but Shades do still have some ammo left as well. I don't think Chief can bring this back, but he just about did by finishing off Lokir there. Man. Man, oh man. Shades here. Probably going to turn and fire at those Dryads. Yep. Great target with their 60 armor. They are reasonably armored. I'd definitely call them a medium armor unit. They're going to get a face full of crossbow bolts there. Most uncomfortable. And Shades have decent enough melee stats that they'll be just fine. Taking that melee engagement there, so yeah, I really, really like that use of Shades. Probably one of the best use of Shades I've seen in quite some time. But, I mean, granted, there are still a lot of High Elf forces here. I mean, the Shades are pretty much going to have to solo most of these guys, and the question is, can they? Especially with the Noble Chariots. I mean, yeah, he needs to be able to finish off those Noble Chariots, but Spearmen charging in from the other side. Granted, we do have some Dread Spears here as well. Relatively healthy unit of Dread Spears and the Hellebroni. Oh yeah, there we go. That's what needs to happen. Spirit Leech and a volley of crossbow bolts hitting that Noble. Gonna probably be enough to rout him off. Let's see, that Spirit Leech, not quite enough to finish him. Those Dryads do get their leadership finished off here. These Spearmen are gonna get rear charged, and they will probably rout as well. And how about like the teal Dark Elves fighting the green High Elves? That's just an interesting color combination. Not something you see every day. It has horrible gas, Zach. It's just constantly suffering because it's at sea all the time and just eating rotten fish every day. It actually has horrendous gas. So, yep. Yep. You can see the Noble Chariots charging through the backline here, trying to disrupt, keep those Shades from being able to counter fire, but another Spirit Leech from the Death Sorceress, and that should be enough to finish off this Noble Chariot. They actually do charge her directly, but yeah, that's probably going to be army losses. He actually shatters there. The Chariot blows up from the Sorceress there. I think she's going to be able to blow up this other Chariot too. It's taking hits. She has decent melee attack, 39 melee attack on the Sorceress. Shatters the Noble, and with that, That should be it. I mean, still not hitting army losses for the High Elves, but at this point the Shades can pull back, get a couple volleys here on these Dryads, and that should be game. But very well played to both players. That was quite the wild game, despite the fact that the main engagement played out super quickly. There was still some really good back and forth there. Yeah, those Dryads not going to be able to stand up to the Shade fire. Just all the shade being thrown here. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Sorceress. Oh man, the Sorceresses ride side saddle too? You would think that the Dark Elves would not bother with riding side saddle, but I guess, you know, fashion is everything when you're an emo kid. And there's army losses for the High Elves. That is game. So well played. Very well played. That was an excellent, excellent match. Legendary game. Yeah, that was wild. I love watching Falcon play. I have to say, he has inspired me quite a bit recently to play more rush-centric builds with some factions. And, oh, man, it's just so awesome to see. Lokir, great use out of him initially. He did get some good hits on Alariel, but then she drew him into a trap there. And credit to Chief, able to just about bring that back by finishing off Lokir. Just the Shades at the end of the day were too much. That heavy AP, able to just rip apart those noble chariots like nothing else. Good use of the Cav there as well, the Slaanesha's Harvesters especially. So, yeah, that was a great game. Great game. I don't know, St. Augustine. Well, actually, I do know why. It's because they're using the animations of the Bretonnian Damsel when they're on a horse, and they're using not the Bretonnian Damsel animations when they're on the Cold One. But you would think it'd actually be much more uncomfortable to ride, you know, full saddle on the Cold One because it's all scaly and weird. But I don't know. I've never ridden a giant lizard, so I couldn't tell you. Yeah. It's always a pleasure, absolutely. So let's see. I think that most of these other ones have already started. So let's go ahead and have a look at the Brackety Brew, wherever it went. Here it is. If we have a look here, let's go ahead and give it a little refresh. Have a look at the bracket. Looks like most are still in progress. We do have a few reporting scores right now. Stop coughing. No, I refuse. All right. Let's see. Looks like people are getting in, getting it done. So yeah, we're probably just going to hang out for a little bit here because I don't see any games that are joinable at the moment. Everything, it looks like, is in progress. So we'll just kind of hang out for a sec, relax, chill with you guys, do the old throat clear, maybe have a little more Bang. Not sponsored, just love Bang. Yeah, it's a little hard on your voice, guys, talking for hours and hours on end without stopping, but we're getting through. We're getting it done. Banging. It's an energy drink called Bang. Probably not great for you, but I'm not sponsored or anything, but these are really good. Yep. I don't know if you guys could even see that. But anyway. We'll just watch the scores roll in as people finish up their games. We've had some really good games so far. Absolutely. Been excellent. Excellent. Okay. Did somebody drop out? Huh. Let's have a look here. Okay. Alright. So we're still waiting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. They are all in progress. Yeah, energy drinks are definitely not good for you, and I shouldn't be drinking them, but this one at least doesn't have any sugar, which is okay. Does have a lot of caffeine, which is not the best, but hey, when you need to get up early and cast a big tournament, gotta have some extra energy, right? Has a lot of vitamins and stuff, a lot of potassium. Yeah, no sugar. It's the main reason I drink these over something like a Red Bull or like a Rockstar or something, is because it doesn't have any sugar. Granted, it probably has some sugar replacement that's much, much worse, but hey, it is what it is, right? I actually have been working out. In January, I started doing intermittent fasting, so I will typically eat from noon to 8 p.m. and I don't eat breakfast, and then I don't eat late at night, and that kind of helped me start losing some weight. And then I started going to the gym because I had more energy. Now I've been losing even more weight from that. So yeah, from January, I was probably at like 185 in January, and now I'm down to like 155, like 150 probably. So yeah, I mean, my body on the whole, because of my lifestyle changes, is getting healthier, which is why I don't feel so bad about drinking the energy drinks, right? So it's all kind of in balance, right? Healthy lifestyle, healthy mind. So I eat from noon to 8 p.m. I only eat in an 8-hour window, and it's from noon to 8 p.m. It's intermittent fasting. And I'm the kind of person that I've never ever wanted to try any diet, just because I think most diets are fads and that they're cutting out nutrients that you need and everything. The thing about intermittent fasting, though, is it's not really a diet per se, because it's not restricting what you can eat. It's more restricting when you can eat, right? So I'm the kind of person that will forget to eat breakfast anyway, so it's really easy for me to follow. Yeah. It's good. I definitely recommend, if any of you guys are looking for, a lifestyle change that's meaningful, it's the first week or two are pretty tough. But once you get into the habit of it, it's probably the easiest diet you can do, and it's effective. It's absolutely effective. So yeah, it's basically skipping breakfast and not feeling bad about it. And then the other key, too, is not eating late at night. For me, actually, that was the hardest thing. I'm a snacker, absolutely. So for me, like, not snacking, especially late at night playing video games, it was pretty hard. But now that I'm kind of in the mode of it, it's not too bad. Now that I'm used to it. In fact, nowadays, if I don't follow that as much, I like have stomach issues. My stomach isn't happy, but I don't know, Zach. I don't know. Since I've been skipping breakfast, I have lost a bunch of weight and I feel much healthier, so I don't know if that's true. Put a lock on the fridge. Time lock. Yeah, and that's the thing, too, with intermittent fasting, is if you are the kind of person that has to eat breakfast or you can't function in the day, then you just skip dinner, right? You just, you maybe start at like whatever time you eat breakfast, 8 o'clock in the morning, and then go to, let's see, 6 p.m.? So, no, that's not right. My math is off somewhere. Anyway, once a day big meal. Yeah, that's kind of the opposite for me. I usually like through that 8-hour window, I typically don't eat like one big meal. I'll eat like half a meal, and then like a couple hours later eat like the other half, and then a couple hours later eat a little more. So yeah, this is actually a little loud for me. I'm gonna turn down my headphones just a little bit. So yeah, just hanging out for now. Let's go ahead and check the bracket again. Looks like we're just waiting on 3 games at this point. Yep, just waiting on a few games here, so... Yeah, it's all lifestyle, right? It's all kind of interrelated, so... Yeah, well, there's good and bad share. I mean, it keeps your metabolism going. Like, if you eat smaller chunks throughout the day more frequently, it keeps your metabolism going, but you are also correct in that by keeping your metabolism going constantly, keeping your digestive system going constantly, you can run into issues that way. But yeah, like for me, I just can't eat like a big meal all at once. Like my stomach gets too full and I can't do it. So I don't know. It's probably just because I've been a snacker for so long that my stomach's just used to eating that way. Like I can't eat very much all at once. But yeah, it's interesting. Definitely interesting. But I recommend you guys check it out. I was super skeptical about intermittent fasting, but I thought like, hey, I forget to eat breakfast sometimes anyway. Let's just try it out. And yeah, it's worked out really well for me. So just poop a lot, you're fine. God of Gobos coming in with the wisdom there. Thank you. Well, I think we can all live by those words. Oh, man. All right. Looks like we just got one more. Loopy versus Aura of Death. So these guys are going. Whew, get a little dizzy there. Caffeine all went to my head. Skip eating. Yeah, I know some people that do that, Cher. I know some people that will... It's similar to what I do, just instead of, each day breaking it up, you just do, maybe like once a week, once every 2 weeks, you do like a 24-hour fast. Just drink water, but yeah. Zach, wait, if you've ever been to scout camp, if you're American and or I don't know, they might have Boy Scouts in Europe too. I think it was actually started in Britain, so I'd imagine it's there also. But if you've ever gone to a scout camp and had to deal with scout camp outhouses, you will learn to hold it for a week. And yes, you're right, it is horrible, but it's better than the alternative. Yeah, I was gonna say, Baden was a scout for the British Army in World War I want to say. So it was started in the UK on the islands. I forget the name. well, Cher, when you have 500 teenage boys using one bathroom constantly, and it's out in the middle of the wilderness. Yeah, I did quite a bit of scouting when I was young. It was fun. In where I grew up in Utah, Utah is a state which has a lot of mountains and like tons and tons of beautiful natural areas. It has the most like natural parks, national forests, like that kind of stuff. But so scouting is huge here. People love scouting here because of the outdoor kind of aspect of it. So yeah, I grew up camping like once a month at least. We would go for a weekend, and then in the summer we would always go for like a 1 week long camp out. And yeah, because yeah, I mean, either it's full of spiders or it's just like horribly disgusting, or that it smells like someone died in there. Oh man. Yeah, Cher, living in the mountains of Utah, we have some of the best drinking water in the United States, and I am super spoiled. Like when I travel, I have to drink bottled water because their tap water tastes horrible everywhere. Compared to here at least, but okay, let's see. I think these guys are going. Let's see here. Oh, did they just update? Looks like challenge is trying to refresh. Let's see here. Yep, just waiting on this one last score to advance the round. So, hopefully we get that going soon. We're making good time, though. Dimmy G, what's up, champ? This is the Mercenaries Melee. This is my tournament. My own personally hosted tournament, so... Chalk powder, huh? Interesting. I've never heard that before. Very, very interesting. Drink a lot of water. Yeah, that's solid advice. Gabo's coming in with the wisdom today. Da, 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 da. Hey, thanks, Louise. Appreciate it. Three Kingdoms. Yes, I have. I have a couple of streams up on the channel, Grizook. I know not a ton of people watched them, but I am going to be streaming more 3K in the coming days. I just haven't had as much time as I would have liked to do so, but... Yeah, I mean, the multiplayer I won't be covering for the time being, but just because the multiplayer is a little bit of a mess right now, but the campaign is awesome, and if they do get the multiplayer into a place that's a little bit more balanced, then I probably will be jumping into that, but yeah, it's a great one for sure. Yeah, Three Kingdoms multiplayer is, I don't know. I don't know if it has any hope. I don't really know how much. I mean, they made a ton of money off of it, so hopefully they'll want to put some stuff there. Let's see. Yeah, like the Greater Arcane Conduit. Yeah, it's an issue. Da, 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 da. I'm still waiting on that other one. I might just call it a draw if I don't hear from them. So we're still waiting on them, but da, 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 da. Sorry, just dealing with issue here. Okay, just sorting out a rules dispute here, making sure we're all good. And I still haven't heard from Aura of Death or Loopy. Okay, we're all good now. Just sorting some things out. Doing the old admin thing, so appreciate you guys' patience. We are just about there. Yeah, it just has regular Arcane Conduit too, yeah. No. Yeah, the Slaan's campaign skill tree is weird. They have like a mixed lore, and it's just, I don't know, it's not very good, honestly. The Slaans are a lot better in multiplayer than they are in campaign, but they're doing dwarfs versus, oh man, dwarfs versus wood elves. Okay, well, that's just awful in every way. I'm glad we're not watching that. Yeah. Should just ban that matchup. That's so gross. Okay, are we there? Yeah, honestly, at this point, I'm just gonna give them a draw and input the score later, whoever wins, because I don't want to wait anymore. We've waited long enough, so. Alright, next round is up. So, the matchups are here. Okay, so we are now on to round 3. Let's see, what matchups have we got? Oof, Hadris versus Felcon. Let's see if we can get in that one. That's going to be a really good one. My boy Hadris versus Felcon. Oh yeah, this is going to be a good one. I'm excited. I think somebody's enjoying using Lokir Felheart. Oh, are we gonna get a Dark Elf mirror? That could be interesting. That could be very, very interesting. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da da da. Yeah, you can't pick the lore, and it's just like, yeah, you can get skink chiefs on stegodons. Yeah, it's weird. It's just weird. The Slaans in campaign, and like you have to spend a bunch of resources to even unlock them in the first place. It's just weird. It's just weird. Strange one for sure. So yeah, there's some other good ones on this as well. We got Loopy versus Crabling. We've got Amu versus Narnian. Soder versus Ben the Barman. Chief versus Sarmatian. That should be a good one too. So yeah. Good stuff. I did, yeah, St. Augustine. I actually haven't played Vermintide all that much. I have Vermintide 1. I don't actually have Vermintide 2. But I think it's awesome that they're doing it. It looks amazing from a visual standpoint. I just, with how busy I am, I haven't really had time to play Vermintide very much. So with the new expansion, though, with the new thing coming out, I might jump into it just because there's going to be a lot of new people playing. So, hey, hello. Stavros, good to see you. From Italy. Beautiful. What part of Italy, if you don't mind me asking? Having played Total War for many years, I'm slightly familiar with the geography of the Italian peninsula. Europe in general, since most Total War games have taken place there. Greek, okay. I was going to say, your name looks Greek. I mean, it's just across the sea, right? So, fun stuff. Fun stuff. My dad is actually in Rome right now, so I'm super jealous. Modena. Ah, right on. Where the Ferraris are made. That's what I know about Modena. So that's where Ferrari's from. Yep. Yeah, my dad just went to Portugal. He was in the Algarves region, and then him and his my stepmom just went to Rome. So I'm just a little bit jealous, you could say. Greenskins. These guys are taking their time, picking their lords. No worries. Looks like we're going to go Beastmen. Actually, I think we'll stay here. I do want to watch this. Beastmen, Hadrius Beastmen versus Falcon's Dark Elves here, the Blessed Dread. So, yeah. Right, Anton? It's like, I've talked about this with, like, game store owners and, like, people who are more involved on the hobby side. And it's weird that, like, Games Workshop like killed off fantasy right when they have this Halo product that's going to bring a ton of new people in. Because like me, especially when Total War Warhammer 1 first came out, I was watching a ton of games from like Mini Wargaming and other channels of Warhammer Fantasy like on YouTube, right? Because I was like, I want to know how it works. You know, I was interested in learning the game so I could potentially play it. But then you come to find out, oh no, this game is discontinued and now it's Age of Sigmar, which is nothing like it. So, Beastmen equals Bestmen. Yep, Moo Cow, that's right. That's right. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the video I got featured on Heir of Carthage's channel. So, faction for a noob to start learning. Ooh, that's a tricky one. Vampire counts are probably any of the undead factions, but specifically vampire counts, because you don't have to worry about microing ranged units. They're relatively forgiving because you have lots of healing. You don't have to worry about rallying routing units because your units just crumble instead of routing, so you don't have to worry about that. Chaos is another pretty good one because they have a relatively simple playstyle. Lizardmen, again, same thing. They're relatively forgiving. They have a pretty simple playstyle. But Wood Elves, I would not recommend as a beginner faction. All of the Elves are high skill cap factions, and you see people a lot of times try to start with the high Elves, but yeah, I typically recommend starting with vampire counts or maybe lizardmen. Yeah, the balanced factions are going to be a little bit require maybe a little bit more micro and experience, like, you know, your dark elves, high elves, wood elves, Greenskins, Empire, they all require a little bit more micro. Norsca might be another good one to start off on, just because they have a relatively simple playstyle as well. Yeah. Well, it's just because they're faction mechanics, Draco. Greenskins, the thing about Greenskins that's hard is their leadership is rough, so you have to be aware of that and constantly, you know, manage your unit's leadership effectively. But Greenskins, depending on the matchup, they can, I should say, have a relatively simple playstyle, but the Greenskins, because they have such diversity and they have some of the best light cav in the game, just in general, they can bring huge numbers to the table. Yeah, Greenskins, they're an interesting one. Although if you ask Slate X, he'll probably just tell you, you know, make a big blob of trolls and squigs and, you know, press WA and then win, right? Alright, so we are getting round 3 going now, once again here with Felcon playing his Felcart. That is Lokir Felhart. And yeah, we're ready. Don't forget the trolls. Yeah, trolls are very essential. Very, very essential, so. Yep. Oh yeah, Draco. That's brutal. Speaking of brutal, let's go over this Beastmen army. We've got Kazrak the One-Eye on foot. What a wild pick for Hadriz. He's also got a Brave Shaman Lore of Death with just Spirit Leech, and a Brave Shaman Lore of Wild with just Viletide. Both of them have Jagged Daggers for extra Winds of Magic. Got some Ungor Spearmen, some Bestigor, we've got some Ungor Raiders here, and lots of Centaurs and other mobile units. Got a couple Razorgore Herd, couple Poison Warhounds. Reasonably well-balanced Beastmen army. As for the Dark Elves, again, Lokir Felhart up in the air. We've also got a Death Hag on her party wagon. Dread Spears, we've got Harganeth Executioners in the center. Looks like 2 units of Corsairs, a Fire Sorceress, 2 units of Cold One Knights, a nice balanced Dark Elf build as well. I like it. Both these builds make me happy. So, yep, Kraken McCracken face. Felcon certainly has been enjoying using him. And yeah, this dragon has a horrible case of the gas, as you can see. It's just constantly just pumping out noxious fumes, so bet Felcon loses his lord. We'll see. He did last time and still won, so we'll see. We shall see. Kill his dragon. Uh-oh. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, these guys are both... Yeah, there's a lot of Centaurs with throwing axes. This is going to be a pretty big danger. I think that's honestly the biggest danger, is probably those Centaurs with throwing axes. We don't have any Gorbals here. We don't have any Minotaurs. So really, yeah, the Centaurs with throwing axes, the best Gore Herd, obviously, will be pretty good in the infantry fight, but they will get cleaned up by Executioners. So yeah, we'll see. These Executioners with their power stance going on. Like, how uncomfortable is it to hold your sword like that for an extended period of time, is my question. Like, is it really necessary for them to just walk around like that all the time? Like, really, guys? Really? I guess so, huh? I do like the color scheme of the Blessed Dread, though, especially on these Executioners with, like, the red capes. They got these little green sashes, the gold helmets. They look really nice. They look quite nice, I have to say. That line of great swords there, that looks terrifying. Let's get a good shot of that. And they're off. Right? That's what I'm saying, Grizzly. That I might try that next time I'm at the gym. Just, you know, get a giant dumbbell and just hold it like that for 30 minutes. Anyway. Centaur's moving up. They're going to be doing some early skirmishing. Probably going to try and get the hits on Lokir himself. Now, Lokir does have self-healing with his Helm of the Kraken, but notice it only is active if he's in melee. So, very important to note there. Here comes a fireball. What is that? Is that going after Ungor spears? Not really sure about that, but okay. Fireballing some cheap spearmen. You can see here the Beastmen trying to get them to take this engagement in the forest. The throwing axes, ooh, maybe going after the Cold One Knights here. That would be a very, very nice pick, but oh man, the counterfire from those Blackguard Corsairs is going to do a great job, and the Centaurs immediately having to pull away there. You can see overloading over on this side. That does mean, though, that these guys could potentially come up and start to wrap around and collapse this flank. You can see Falcon, though, pushing up is going to try and, again, overload on the one side and just kind of roll up this way. Beastmen are coming forward a little bit here. The Corsairs are going to start ripping into those Ungor herd. They don't have any shields, those spearmen, so they will take quite a bit of damage there. Oh man, Falcon looks like he's maybe thinking about trying to get a breath attack in here somewhere. These throwing axes should probably come forward, and oh yeah, the breath attack mostly misses there. It does catch a few of those throwing axes, but yeah. Believe it or not, this Death Hag on the cart, I actually really like this pick here. If the Beastmen don't bring the right tools, they're actually not great at taking down big armored monsters, believe it or not. So the Piggy boy's going to sue Pig straight to the front line here and get countercharged now by the Cold One Knights. The Executioners there getting the Fury of Cain, going to buff up their melee attack. Unfortunately, those Razorgore herd were just about to pull away there, and they get enraged, which is very, very unfortunate. But you can see there, the Cold One Knights didn't take a whole lot of damage. They're pulling back now. Oh man, Executioner is going to catch Bestigor without the Bestigor having a charge order on the Executioners themselves, and then get followed up by these Cold One Knights here. Malekith. Lokir also drops down, is going to be going after... let's see, Kazrak here, so I don't know, this is not looking great. You know, I said that those Hargoneth Executioners were going to do well, but they actually got wrecked by those Bestigor. I'm not really sure what happened there, but yeah, they took a huge amount of damage. That was crazy. Anyway, you can see here, Centaurs with throwing axes, they are probably going to be able to deal with this Death Hag. They are doing some good damage right now, but they do need to try and pull away a little bit here. Likewise, the Ungor Raiders, despite the fact they don't have the best AP values in the world, they still do, you know, have a very high volume of fire, and just through volume of fire, they can get some good damage done against the Death Hag. Unfortunately, this, oh man, that was a nasty breath attack, just blew up both, well, I say two out of the 3 units of Ungor Raiders there, and immediately they get terrified away by the Death Hag, so... yeah, things are not looking great for the Beastmen right now. The terror is becoming a huge issue, and they're just starting to run out of steam a little bit here. Not able to do enough damage to the right targets. You can see the Executioners took some pretty significant damage, but yeah, I think that not bringing certain units are a little bit... Slade, no. Sorry, large armies, I had forgotten to specify on the tournament page, but no, it's just regular size armies, so... yeah, sorry. Anyway, I don't know. We'll see. The Beastmen aren't completely out of this yet. The throwing axes are still putting in some decent effective fire here on this Death Hag. I just don't think that they're going to be able to finish her off. And you can see Lokir is completely healthy as well, having taken basically no damage. I'm not really sure what happened to Kazrak. He looks like he's still over here, still alive, but not for long. These Bestigor aren't able to hold their leadership together, despite the fact there's still quite a few of them left. And yeah, I don't know. I think there was definitely some mistakes from a build standpoint. A little bit of an odd build, but, I mean, granted, you do have to take Kazrak as the Beastman here, so you are a little more limited. You can't take somebody like Malagor, but, yeah, the Death Hag might get finished off here. Unfortunately, it's Lokir that's really the issue at this point. Another really nice Burning Head goes down, roasts out a bunch of those Ungors there. You can see the Cold One Knight's going to be rolling up as well. Not a good day to be a Beastman. The Dark Elves rolling things up here. Hey Slade, if you guys haven't started yet, if you could actually hold off on starting, I would love to be able to spectate your game, if I could. But this one's just about over here, so we should be able to jump out in just a minute once Slade finishes off, or sorry, once Lokir finishes off Kazrak here. That's going to be it. Still catching a few throwing axes, but yep, there goes critical army losses, and that's game. Dimmy G, so if you look at the tournament bracket, you'll see that there are some special rules for, yeah, sorry, somebody's just distracting me. Yeah, you have to, if you want to play, you pick one faction, use it the whole time, but if you want to option into another faction, you have to use a specific lord, like Felcon's been rolling with Lokir Felheart, as you can see there. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into another one here, and let's see. Get Slade in here. Okay. All right. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Yeah, no worries, you maze. Looks like Jumaze had to drop, which is unfortunate, but da 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 da. Da 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 da. Okay. I gotta go back and fix something real quick. Let's go ahead and correct this one. All right. All right, all right. Going to be having some green skins versus Tomb Kings today. Should be an interesting one. Da 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 da. I know, right? it just works. It just works. Don't question Razook. Just go with it. Pistoliers are a melee unit, okay? Look at those little bayonets. Okay, can I just point out how they have like little bayonets on the end of their pistols that then they draw out swords? Like oh, that's great. Yeah, Wood Elves and Beastmen, it's going to be interesting. I know their intention is to rework all of the Game 1 factions with new like campaign mechanics and new stuff. Bretonia was the last one they did, although they could have done more, honestly. But yeah, anyway, let's get to this replay here, or this battle, rather. And we've got green skins. Looks like Night Goblin Shaman, Orc Shaman, a whole bunch of goblins here. Yeah, just absolute all the goblin squig hoppers. We've got squigs. We've got trolls. We've got Skarsnik. Something is going to happen here, certainly. As for the Tomb Kings, looks like we've got Katep. Awesome. I love seeing Katep. On horseback, nonetheless. He's really good in this matchup as well. We've got Skeleton Spears, we've got Tomb Guard, Nehekara Horsemen, and Skeleton Horse Archers with one Ushabti Greatbow. Relatively straightforward Tomb Kings build. Yeah, Beastmen, Wood Elves. Yeah, actually, I really like the Chaos campaign because Beastmen, to a lesser degree, because they have less Lord variety, it kind of gets a little stale. But with Chaos, at least, because they have such good Lord variety, I actually really like the Chaos campaign in Mortal Empires because you can just kind of send your stacks all over the world and fight a lot of variety of opponents very quickly, and you're not really tied to the land, right? So you can kind of go wherever you want. So I personally really, really like the Chaos campaign. Like, I recently played an Archaon campaign where, like, I got Archaon, I started conquering my way across Norsca, you know, subjugating some of the tribes. Eventually, I pooped out Sigvald to stay in Norsca, and then he crossed over into Nagorond and started working his way through some of the Dark Elf territories. Malekith was really not happy that I was devastating his lands and offered me a military alliance to make peace with him. I decided that was probably a good idea, so after allying with Malekith, I made my way through his lands and started attacking the High Elves that were attacking his southern border. Eventually, you know, Sigvald pooped out Kolek, and so I had like 2 or 3 stacks in the old world, like messing with Kislev and the Empire, and oh man, this is getting started. We've already got some wild Vanguard action, 8 Peak Loonies here, and the Warlord's boys immediately coming forward to get a face full of arrows, and it looks like we've got Nehekara Horsemen as well. And check this out. This is what Slade's doing here. So he's used Tricksy Traps from Skarsnik to give everyone stock unspottable and a bit of extra speed as well. That way he can push forward very aggressively. Oh man, it looks like some Squig Hoppers were able to discover the force hidden in the woods there, and pretty unfortunate here, the Warlord's boys getting mass struck by Nehekara Horsemen. Nehekara Horsemen, actually very good medium cav, one of the only medium cav units in the game, but yeah, hopefully once Game 3 comes out, like, we'll see more stuff with the Chaos campaign. Like, I would love to see, like, with Chaos Corruption, there could be, like, a random chance of, like, a demon stack spawning, even in areas which don't have settlements, so that, you know, the Chaos corrupted areas with, like, those warp gates and stuff, like, you know, might have, like, a 0.5% chance on each turn to spawn, like, a stack of Chaos demons or something. But anyway, back to the battle at hand. You can see the Squig Hoppers pushing through super aggressively, getting on those Nehekara Horsemen and absolutely ripping them to pieces. We've got Trolls and more pushing forward as well. Some of the Goblins did take some damage on the advance there, but this is a nasty, nasty build here. It's going to be just a plowing through the lines of the Tomb Kings here in just a minute. You can see the Trolls are taking a little bit of damage from the Nehekara Horsemen, but it's not really enough to do anything overly substantial. That being said, these Squig Hoppers did get in here a little piecemeal, and the Nehekara Horsemen with a good rear charge here. Granted, they are now getting swarmed by the massive Doom Ball there, but the rest of the troops making their way forward. Again, these 4 Nehekara Horsemen are just about all picked off. Kotep here getting continuously poked by that gaze of whatever there. What is it? Vindictive Glare. That's it. And yeah, you can see the Squig Hoppers getting routed off, but the Trolls, if they can hold their leadership together, they will do an immense amount of damage here. And the Tomb Guard, they do have pretty good melee defense, but you can see them starting to take some damage here. Yeah, unfortunately, the Wa, I don't think, has been able to be popped yet because Skarsnik hasn't got into melee. Kotep's likely been using spells to get his staff, you know, to get some extra recharge time and so forth. But as it is right now, things are pretty even. Most of the Nehekara Horsemen are crumbled away. The Tomb Guard are starting to take some damage. But likewise, the Squig Herds are starting to run out of steam a little bit here. And these Trolls without support are going to be a little bit rough. These other Squig Herds probably need to get in here and get after these Tomb Guard if they can. But yeah, the infantry support for the Gobos just a little bit behind. We'll see. Ooh, a very nice Fanatics cast right down the line there is actually going to even do some damage to those Horsemen. A little bit, not much, but hey, every little bit counts. Yeah, we'll see. Trolls, unfortunately, this Troll unit does get routed away there. We're going to get a bit of a Brain Burster there. That does a ton of damage to those Tomb Guard. Holy cow, that is super cost effective considering how cheap that spell is. But, yeah, the Greenskins' leadership is not doing amazing here. You can see Spearmen mixed with Tomb Guard is actually going to be just kind of the worst-case scenario for those Trolls to have to deal with. The Spearmen will do well. You know, the Tomb Guard have good melee defense and good weapon strength, so even though they're not anti-large, they actually trade reasonably decently with Trolls. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. This Greenskin build was certainly a lot of fun, but I just don't think it has enough sustaining power to really finish things off here. I don't know. It's anyone's guess. There are rallying units here, and you can see these trolls still have plenty of regeneration left. Looks like these squig hoppers are going to come in, try and bail out this unit of trolls that's getting chased. That does mean that they are going to be able to catch this unit of skeleton horsemen as well. Horse archers, that is. Hopefully these trolls will then rally and come back in to be able to support here. But yeah, looks like Tomb Guard going to be cutting through goblins there, no surprises. Things will sort of over time start to grind in the Tomb King's favor, just because of the way the leadership mechanics work. So yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Another Vindictive Glare does some damage. Does a bit of friendly fire as well, though, on those Squig Hoppers. And it is pretty unfortunate. The Troll's leadership is just not there at the moment. Those Skeleton Horsemen taking quite a bit of damage. And yeah, the balance power definitely taking a turn at this point as the Greenskins start to run out of steam. Start to run out of their heroic units as well. This Orc Shaman just took a ton of damage from these two units. So Tomb Guard, Skarsnik not doing super well either. I think this one is probably going to go to the Tomb Kings, but... Yep, Squig Hoppers sacrificing themselves into those Skeleton Horsemen because they are just silly beasts that are enraged. Looks like Skarsnik finally pops the wall off after having been in combat for a while. It's going to be a little bit too little too late, I think, but yeah, these trolls just weren't quite enough, and despite the fact that they were able to do some really good damage, Tomb Guard and Spearmen just, you know, trade pretty well against them. So... sure, Loopy. Yeah, let me do that real quick. So Crabling won that one, okay. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Looks like Slade does admit defeat there, so the Spooky Tomb King's a little bit too much for the time being, so yeah. Yep, done and done. Done and done. Oh, it looks like Hadriz might have missed his as well. Because Felcon won that, right? Right? We all watched Felcon win that, so... Yep. Yep. Okay, so we got that going. Let's have a look here and see how the rounds are shaping up. We're on to round 4 already, so halfway done, huh? Sweet. So we can go ahead and put in Arkan the Black as the winner there. And just waiting on Aura of Death and Demandrid one more time. Alright, so the scores are fixed. Yep, so we've got that fixed now, so we've got, let's see here. So Felcon, we got that one sorted, and Crabling over Loopy, we got that one sorted as well. So we'll give it a few more minutes here. Somebody is asking me about something, so it's very important that I send them this this picture right here. All right. So looks like we have had a few people have to drop, unfortunately, But, hey, it's all good. Yeah, I saw A move dropped. We just had Ben the Barman drop as well, so... yeah, it's all good. Hopefully, some people might have a buy with how many people have dropped. Yeah, it happens. It happens. So, no worries. No worries. We will get things going here. Just waiting on one more still. We'll give him another 3 minutes or so. Da-da-da-da. Go ahead and get this going again. Alright, kick back, give a little bit of a stretch and a bend. Oh yeah, man, hopefully you guys have been enjoying. We've had some great games so far. That Volkmar Death Star game still has to be probably my top. I don't know, that first game we had too, with Alariel almost staging a comeback against Lokir Felhart. That was a good one too. Trolls and squigs. More trolls and squigs. And some more trolls and squigs. Okay. Da 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 da. Da da da. Nice. Very nice, Slade. Hopefully you're saving those replays, because I would love to see them. Skarsnik, yeah, Skarsnik's pretty decent though. I mean, people think he's a meme, but Skarsnik is actually not bad. Someone bring in naked Alariel? I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay, yep, we're just about there. Still waiting on this one. Da 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 da. Falcon looking like he's going to draw Arcan probably in one of the later rounds. But let's keep things fresh. I'm tempted to just give another draw because we're waiting on the same people again. Well, one of the same people. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't really know what to do at this point. These guys are taking a sweet time. Sweet, sweet time. Make stuff invisible and survive. Yeah, absolutely. That's the way of things. Right? Right, Cher? Weird. Is he? Is that why it's taking so long? I think I might just kick him, honestly, because we've been waiting on him every round. So yeah, a laggy dwarf game. I might just kick him, honestly, because I'm not really trying to wait. So yeah, I'm gonna give it like 2 more minutes, and if they're not done, I'm just gonna kick him, because I mean it. Like, it sucks for him, right, that his computer's laggy and everything, but it's... yeah, I'm not I'm not trying to make everyone else wait for that, right? But the thing is, like, even if I wait for a tie, right, Hadriz, then I'm gonna have to do that for every round from here on out for him, and we've already done it for 2. So I don't know. I kind of just want to just kick him and not not worry about it anymore. It's horrible of me, but I mean, we have 20 other people here who are trying to play, so. So yeah, we'll give him a couple more minutes, but yeah, gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, we've got all of you guys here in chat waiting for the next round, right? So. I think we've had a lot of people dropping Lotus Moon, so I think we already have odd numbers. Yeah, we've had quite a few people drop already, so I'm not sure. If we go ahead and look at the participants here, we have... yeah, I think we actually have an odd number right now, but... yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, right? So... Dehenowin fawning over Lotus. Oh yeah, okay. So we're just gonna give that one to Demandrid and move on to the next round. So yeah. So let's go ahead and come in here and we'll just remove Aura of Death. So he's out, and the next round is up. So for those of you ready, let's go ahead and go to the bracket. Round 4 is up. So, yep. Looks like Crabling got a bye by getting matched up to Aura of Death. And Ben the Barman, I believe, had to withdraw. So let me actually change this real quick. I should have done that before. I had thought that he would have. Let's see. So, let's remove him as well. So yeah, that unfortunately it would have probably, if I had done that before the round, it would have probably matched Sim up against Crabling. But here, let's go ahead and do this. Let's have Sim fight Crabling. We'll just do that real quick. That'll work. Alright, so Arcan versus Felcon. I think we need to get in on this one. I think we definitely need to watch that one. Yeah, I think Umaze and A-Move are out as well. I think they removed themselves on challenge. Oh no, A-Move is still on here. Shoot, I better remove them as well. I thought there was a way that people could drop out, but I guess I have to actually remove them, huh? I didn't see A-Move was also on here. Yep, A-Move and who else was it? Umaze? I think Umaze might have pulled himself on challenge. Where is Umaze? Hey, he's not showing on here, so he must have dropped himself on challenge. So yeah, A-Move is out now though. So that does mean that Furiosa got a free win. But yeah. Cool, cool. Oh, Yume's is Furiosa. Oh, okay, so they were actually matched up against each other, which is fine. So that's actually fine for the next round. Okay. Cool, thanks. Yeah, thanks for watching, Lotus Moon. I'm glad you've been enjoying it. It's been super fun for casting. It's, you know, I always enjoy this. I don't get to do it often enough, certainly, but, oh, better put the screen blocker up. There we go. Get those Pistoliers in the way. Man, I love Pistoliers. It's such a cool unit. Anyway. We've got, yeah, Fel Khan versus Arkan the Black. Should be interesting. Because, Loopy, you are the best. You're a top seed, that's why. That's why you're on top of the bracket. I don't know why. Challenge seeded you number 2 in the whole thing, so... I guess I could have probably addressed that before the tournament started, but my bad, dude. I figure with Swiss, usually it plays itself out over the course of the tournament, so I don't worry about the seeding too much, but you are technically the number 2 seed. Yep. Yep. Looks like Arkan's checking the roster of the Blessed Dread, making sure they can't bring anything. All right. Yep. It should be an interesting one. It's an interesting matchup. Yeah, somebody's complaining that I kicked him out of the tournament for taking too long on their matches, but, I mean, it's not really fair for the rest of you to have to wait. Oh, man. Yeah. Yep. I started breakdancing on my head. Oh, I wish I knew how. Dictatorship. Oh, that's great. Oh, yep. Oh, bands. No, you! Anyway. Let's go ahead and get this going. So, for map for round 4 is Norden. This is actually one of my favorite maps. It's got a lot of interesting terrain features. You've got hills and woods all over the place, various patches of stuff, so yeah. We've got Lokir Fellheart here, Cold One Knights, let's see, Dread Spears, we've got Sisters of Singing Doom, a couple units of Shades here, and yeah, fairly straightforward build, what you would expect. On the Tomb King side, we've got Nehekara Horsemen, again, super solid pick, Skeleton Horseman Archers, and the music will be gone now. We've got, yeah, lots of Skeleton Horseman Archers, we've got one Ushabti Greatbow, a Tomb Scorpion, yeah, 4 Nehekara, 4 Skeleton Horseman Archers, similar infantry lineup, Skeleton Spears, Tomb Guard in the center, and this time we've got Arcan the Black. So, yeah. Yep. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. It could be interesting. Just from a build perspective, this many Cold One Knights is going to be a lot for this build to deal with. There's not too much anti-large. These Ushabti Greatbows obviously can do a lot of damage to the Knights, but we'll see. Nehekara Horsemen, I mean, there's some AP on the Tomb Scorpion as well. The Nehekara Horsemen aren't really that great against the Cold One Knights, so we'll see. We will see. Yeah, Arcan, though, with Spirit Leech, could actually be a way of taking down the Cold One Knights as well. Just all kind of depends. It's gonna be a wild one for sure. For sure. Da-da-da-da. Okay, and it looks like at the last second, Felcon changed his deployment to the top of the hill. I have seen him do that quite a few times, especially if he thinks that his opponent is watching the stream, which, I don't know, Arcan might be, I have no idea. Anyway, he's going to be pushing forward now. Looks like the Skeleton Horseman Archers doing a little bit of skirmishing. Arcan the Black going to come forward, and the Shades returning some decent fire there. Looks like Scroll of Leeching. Greatly reduced power recharge rate. Interesting. I think you can actually use that on anyone. You don't necessarily have to only use that on the caster. But yeah, these Nehekara Horsemen and Skeleton Archers are going to be pushing up and around, trying to compromise this flank. You can see Felcon responds with moving some Cold One Knights to kind of a protective position here. But yeah, Lokir's kiting out some of those shots. The Dread Spears are coming forward. They're going to have their hands full with those Tomb Guards, certainly. But, ooh. Are we going to see a fireball? It looks like there's maybe going to be a fireball there from the Fire Sorceress, but maybe not. The archers working on the Dread Spears at the moment. The Ushabti Greatbows are firing at the Sisters of Singing Doom, which is a pretty good target, but honestly, I'd probably rather see them shoot the Cold One Knights. The Sisters of Singing Doom are definitely going to be a big danger to the Tomb Guard, though. They'll cut through them very efficiently, so we'll see. The Shades coming forward here. You can see the Shades over on this side with Lokir supporting. There's not quite so much cav. Most of the cav is kind of located protecting over on this flank. But yeah, Felcon's going to be pushing forward here. Definitely needs to get into a position to start the melee engagement if he can. But Fireball this time actually going to go on the Ushabti Greatbows. An Overcast Fireball. Let's see how much damage this does. If it's enough to one-shot. It is, in fact, enough to one-shot one of those unit models. Very impressive. Meanwhile, We've got a nice charge from Lokir over here. He is going to catch those Nekara horsemen, pin in some of the unit models with his dragon, and then the spearmen can come follow up. The Cold One Knights also following up here, so a nice little pick there, able to do a bit of HP damage to those Nekara horsemen. You can see the Tomb Guard are going to come in, but that is going to open their flank to be charged by the Sisters of Singing Doom. Meanwhile, Dreadspear is going to keep these Tomb Guard from supporting that engagement. The Shades are pouring in some fire onto those Ushabti Greatbows. They're going to pull back, though. And, oh, here we go. Cold One Knights protecting the back line very well against the Nekara Horsemen, who are coming to try and shut down those Shades. Excellent, excellent work there. Looks like we've got Fate of Buna going off on the Cold One Knights. Now, this is actually probably one of the least efficient uses of Fate of Buna, because Cold One Knights have even less unit models than a standard unit of Cav. Fate of Buna's damage scaling is not very efficient against them. That being said, they are still taking quite a bit of damage from it, so, you know, a bit of give and take there, certainly. But you can see how much damage the Sisters of Singing Doom are able to do to those Tomb Guard, just absolutely ripping them to pieces. That being said, most of the Nekara Horsemen are relatively healthy here. You can see the Cold One Knights are taking some pretty good damage, especially from the Tomb Scorpion. The Tomb Scorpion took some hits from the Lokir here, but the Shades, he's having a hard time protecting the Shades. There's just so much cavalry for the Tomb Kings here. It's going after various targets. It looks like, oh man, the Sorceress takes a hit from Arcan there. That's going to be really, really dangerous. He needs to keep that Sorceress alive. That does mean, though, that Arcan's going to get somewhat surrounded by these spears, potentially, and we do have Murderous Mastery popping off all across the field here. Murderous Prowess and Mastery for these various units, and Sisters of Singing Doom still trying to cut their way through those Tomb Guard. But yeah, balance of power pretty much dead even at this point. These Cold One Knights were able to get into the backline and shut down those Ushabti Greatbows. That is absolutely huge. You can see the Skeleton Horsemen trying to support just with pure numbers there. They might actually be able to win that engagement out, but unfortunately that does leave the Tomb Scorpion very exposed in the front line here. Get some back attacks, but unfortunately it is going to be taking some pretty bad hits, and the leadership's not great as well. And oh man, a beautiful Burning Head just roasts out 2 units of Tomb Guard. Holy cow, that was one of the best Burning Heads I think I've ever seen. Tomb Guard, because of their low armor, will take extra damage from that, and the burnt effect just disintegrated one straight up. Holy cow, that was a huge amount of value on that spell. Ushabti Greatbows are able to get resecured here. They only have a few unit models left. Looks like about 4 unit models. They are firing at Lokir, getting some good damage done, but because Lokir's in melee, he is getting the benefit of that regeneration. These very tattered Cold One Knights here, despite the fact they're so tattered, dealing well with the skeletons there. And this is just Singing Doom down to only 14 unit models. They have still not finished off that Tomb Guard, but have got some good work done regardless. Yeah, you can see the Summoned Ushabti here trying to go after Lokir, but because of the leadership, they're actually probably not going to hold out for very long. They are able to do quite a bit of damage to Lokir, but I mean, there's Shades in a supporting position here. He's also got some rallying Cold One Knights as well that can come in. The Sorceress Lore of Fire hidden in the woods there, so yeah, it's looking pretty good for the Dark Elves. Things are still pretty even, though, all things considered. Arcan's still relatively healthy, and there are quite a few Tomb Guard left. These Ushabti are crumbling down to only 2 unit models, but it looks like the Sisters of Singing Doom came back, and those Dread Spears will be able to get back and finish them off. Unfortunately, these Cold One Knights are shattered, and oh man, Lokir's in a bit of a pickle here. He actually gets routed by those Ushabti. Those Ushabti are still have a decent amount of time left on their summon, but thankfully the Cold One Knights are able to resecure and let Lokir get back up into the air. But Lokir routing there is actually a big problem for the Dark Elves. If he can't get back up into the air, which it looks like the Nekara Horsemen are being used to kind of pin him in place here, so that he's not able to get back up in the air. And yeah, he is taking some pretty nasty hits. Looks like another Spirit Leech there. We'll see. This may get close enough to trigger critical army losses for the Dark Elves. What initially had looked pretty decent, Lokir just took way too much damage there, not able to disengage, and he actually shatters at this point from those Nekara Horsemen, and that leads to critical army losses. So, oh man. Those Ushabti, that is clutch Ushabti summon. I think Felcon was just a little bit, just like literally like 2 or 3 seconds late following up with those Cold One Knights supporting Lokir against those summoned Ushabti. If he had been a little bit quicker on the draw with those Cold One Knights and maybe the Shades as well to fire in to support that engagement, I mean, those Ushabti were low on leadership, and he could have maybe got them to crumble, but as it was, they just did so much damage to Lokir, they were able to bring that one all the way back. So yeah, GG. I thought Lokir might have been able to take that one, but how about that Lore of Fire Sorceress, though? 155 kills, some excellent burning heads there. And yeah, it was a good one. Was a good one. So let's see how the round is progressing. Let's see if there are any battles that have yet to start. Looks like we've got BBB versus Zombie potentially here. Let's see if we can get in on this one. And we'll put the screen blocker up. See if these guys have started. Looks like they have not started yet, so we will be able to get another cast on the round, which is just great. I love it when we can get 2 casts in a round. But yeah, we're getting pretty close to being done here. Hopefully you guys are excited for the ECL, of course, later today. Turin will be hosting his ECL. And yeah, he was kind enough to delay a couple of hours. Like, I think it was just an hour that we had agreed on, just to give me an opportunity to finish this up. So much appreciation to Turin for being so gracious about everything. And yeah, big thanks to all of you. We got 90 people watching here right now, which is very, very awesome. So thank you everyone for joining. Yeah, hopefully you guys have been enjoying the tournament so far. I know I sure have. So Chief, we've seen with his Avalorn once before. This time he's going up against Zombie Mike's Vampire Counts. So should be an interesting one. Should be an interesting one. Yep, we'll see where else we're getting scores in on this round. Still got a few games in progress. But yeah, alright, let's go ahead and pop the screen blocker back, and we'll get it going. 3 Skarsnik wins. Nice. Nice. Yeah, it's going to be Total War tournaments all day today, which is just awesome. It's Sunday fun day, like they say, huh? Velcon lost somehow. Yeah, that was a close one. That was a really... I love watching high-level games like that, though. Like, oh man, it was interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, I didn't catch any of the breath attacks there, but it may have been worthwhile to try and use the breath attacks defensively to go after, like, some of the Nekara horsemen, for example, or maybe, like, the horseman archers, to help defend that backline area. But, yeah, it was a tough one. That was a tough one. Man, that clutch Ushabti summon, it's just, you got to watch out for that. You always got to be aware of that. So, yeah. Fun, fun. Fun, fun. Da, 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 da. Okay. Da, 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 da. Yeah. Yeah, I'll agree with you there, Slade. I have to say, Arkan has always been super polite to me, and I know he kind of has a bit of a reputation within the community, but for my part, he's always been super polite to me, probably because I'm the one hosting the tournament and giving him money when he wins, but... But, yeah, I do understand that there's a bit of a perception about him, but... Yeah, he's definitely a good player. There's no denying that. This is a pretty nasty build, folks. Let's take a look here. High Elves got 3 units of Phoenix Guard. We've got 4 units of Spearmen. We've got a Sun Dragon, a Star Dragon, and a Lariel. That's pretty straightforward. Not a lot to really talk about there. As for the Vampire Counts, we've got Kemmler on foot. Nice. You don't see that every day. Also got a Corpse Cart, Unholy Lodestone. Did you hear that scream? Oh my god, Kemmler. Oh my god. Oh, I've never heard him scream like that before. I'm sorry. That's... Oh, man. Anyway. Okay, so back to seriousness. We've got plenty of Black Knights here. They're just regular Black Knights. No lances, no barding. We've got Fellbats, a huge stack. Wow, lots. We've even got some Cairn Wraiths here. We've got Grave Guard. We've got Spearmen, Skeletons. Just a full stack of undead here. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know. There's just not a lot to protect Kemmler from getting gooned by dragons here, which is, I think, going to be the main issue, but... yeah. Well, looks like the bats are the first target. Kemmler not immediately getting gooned, which is nice. But once the bats are gone, then he is, you know, just completely screwed. But we'll see. At this point, the High Elves can just sit back here because they are technically fighting in melee. Yeah, looks like the Skeleton's going to push in. Phoenix Guard, obviously, will destroy them. But it will take some time. So, yeah, Graveguard definitely going to want to try and push up and around. And if I were in the Vampire's position, I would work the Graveguard up and put them up against these Spearmen, since the Elf is just kind of letting it happen here. Come park this Unholy Lodestone to just heal everything, to sustain for a while. But, oh no! Oh, no! Oh, no! Make it happen! Oh! Oh, I think I need to check myself after that one. You guys okay? I'm okay. The Elves are not okay. The game is over, essentially. I mean, Kemmler just got 196 Phoenix Guard kills. Not just 196 kills, 196 Phoenix Guard. Just killed 2 units of Phoenix Guard pretty much entirely. What is happening right now? What? Just what? Oh. Oh. Oh, man. I'm not okay. I am not okay. Oh, man. Whew. Yeah, we'll see if these... Yeah, he's just going to admit defeat after that. It's over. It's over after that. Whew. 3 units. Yeah, 3 units of Phoenix Guard. Oh, man. Zombie Mike. You're my hero now. Oh, man. Can we all just take a minute to collect ourselves after that? Whew. Well, that's all, folks. We've seen it all now. Ah, Chief didn't even notice he had Wind of Death. Oh, man. Oh, man. Woo. Oh, yeah, I think Chief. Oh, man. Woo. Oh, man, that was... Wow. Thank you all for joining. I'm glad everyone could be here to witness what just happened, because that was amazing. And we're on to round 5, just like that. Round 5 is up and active, so we can see everyone here. And yeah, looks like it is up and active. So let's go ahead and get to the multiplayer battles. Okay. Oh yeah? uh yeah, it's you don't see it very often, but when you do, wow, just wow. So, yep. Yep. We got Arcan versus Crabling. Let's see what other ones pop up. I'm curious to see who else. Maybe we pick some players we haven't featured yet. We'll see what other ones pop up here. Grimgore Man versus Falcon. Oh man, I kind of want to watch that one. I know we've already seen Falcon several times, but we've got Arcan versus Crabling, Chief versus Pugno, Hadriz versus Zombie Mike. That could be interesting. Intermission versus Jamie. You know what? I think we want to watch the high-level games, right? Well, let's watch the people who are currently in the lead. So we'll do Arcan versus Crabling, even though we've seen both these guys play already today. We'll just stick with it. So. All right. Let's get the music going, huh? Get a little bit of this. Oh man, Chief's having a rough day. All right. Bring me to my men. I don't think we've seen any lizards yet, Zach. Wait, I don't know if anyone's even playing lizards. Let's see. I'm sure somebody's playing lizards. Somebody has to be playing lizards. Yeah, there were people playing lizards, but they actually dropped. So yeah, I don't know if we'll see any lizards today, unfortunately. It is most unfortunate, but. I could, Krumpenstein, I could. But should I? No chaos at all. Yeah, there's no chaos, no lizardmen. A few factions didn't get any representation today, which is weird because both those factions are really good. But yeah, it is what it is. There are some Bretonians. We've got Wood Elves, Empire, Dark Elves, Lizardmen. Oh no, Falcon's technically registered to play as Lizardmen, but he hasn't. I don't know if he's played as them once. I think he's been playing Lokir Felhart the entire time. So yeah. Yep. Cool. Yeah, we've got one person with Norsca, Averlorn. No Vampire Coast either, interestingly enough. I guess that's kind of weird, because Vampire Coast is really, really good. I would have expected to see them. But yeah, no Coast. Only one counts? Yeah, Falcon signed up with Lizardman just to troll. Seriously, though. Just wanted to play Kraken Face the whole time. Yeah, he's been doing good. I'm curious to see who ends up getting the most wins out of the meme lords. Looks like we got Manbreed in here as well. Does Shadowhunter have Coast? Does he? Oh yeah, he has Coast. Okay, okay. I thought it was Counts. I am slightly dyslexic apparently, but yes. Okay, so we do have one Coast player. So okay, that makes sense. I would expect at least one Coast player, just because they are such a common pick, right? Just a little bit overpowered. But anyway, let's go on to this next game here. We've got Hadriz with his Skaven here, Lord Skrolk. Skaven Slave Spears, Skaven Slave Spears. We've got Plague Monks, a whole bunch of Rat Ogres, and more Plague Monks. We've got 4 units of Jezzails. That is a lot of armor-piercing missiles. So it should be interesting up against this Tomb King army here. And wow, I didn't realize that this map was so one-sided. I thought that it would be more flat, but evidently it's has quite a slope on one side. Anyway, for the Tomb King's army, we've got Skeleton Warriors mixed with Tomb Guard. No Spearmen this time. Same thing though, Nehekara Horsemen with Skeleton Horsemen Archers. We do have a Skeleton Chariot, great pick against the Skaven. Tomb Scorpion for cheap terror. A Tomb King on a Sphinx, and a Lich Priest Lore of Death. Very interesting. Curious to see how this goes. This is a lot of infantry here. The Tomb Guard especially, they're just such a good infantry unit. So, oh, I am a noob. You guys are all messaging me. I'm getting messages on Steam, and I'm just ignoring everything, so. Yep, I am a genius, guys. What, you guys couldn't see the armies that I was explaining? But Pistoliers are great to watch. You are right. Okay. Yeah, this Death Sorcerer way up in the back here. Gonna be interesting. Going to be interesting. Really like the deployment here as well from Arcan. He's super wide, just spread all the way across his deployment zone. Excellent spacing, got just troops all over the field, so he can pressure from all angles. And the Skaven are a little bit tight here, so we'll see. The Death Star, not really a Death Star, but that's just so many Jezzails. It's going to be, for anything that walks into range, it's going to be a nightmare. You guys are great. You guys are great. So yeah, they are already opening up shots, and because of the shield breaker attribute, you can see the missile block chance does go down for these guys. If we have a look here, it's actually down to 31%, so they are going to be taking extra damage there. That being said, I mean, I don't know that shooting the Tomb Guard is necessarily the best. I would probably just try and focus everything on taking out the leadership, but then again, that's just me. You can see here Natty Bubo's going after the Skeleton Horseman Archers. Now, this is actually pretty smart because the Skeleton Horseman Archers are one of the main dangers for the Rat Ogres, and the Rat Ogres are going to be pretty key here in dealing with like the Tomb Guard and dealing with the chariots and the horsemen and so on. So he needs to protect those Rat Ogres from the archers as much as possible. So, you know, even though you may want to be shooting at more high-value armored targets, like this Tomb Scorpion, for example, starting to get lit up, yeah, it's a tricky situation, certainly. And these Skaven Slave Spears, honestly, Arcan could probably just charge these horsemen in and rout them off pretty quickly. I mean, granted, there are still these Rat Ogres right on station, but we'll see. The Skaven are, so far, just holding their defensive position. The Rat Ogres are going to come through and break the advance of the Tomb Guard there. Just a quick hit-and-run charge to interrupt them, and then pulling away there. Looks like the Tail Slashers and the Plague Monks may not necessarily get their charge order. They do probably need to get that charge order, but here come the Nehekar Horsemen. They are able to get on one of the units of Jezzails there, and you can see now this unit of Jezzails is going to be a little bit exposed. Yeah, the terror from the Tomb Scorpion is a bit of an issue, but you can see the Tomb Scorpion has taken a ton of damage already from said Jezzails, and yeah, it's looking good so far, but we'll see. We've seen Arcan be nice and crafty before, but what is that music still doing playing? I forgot to fade that out as well. Anyway, Plague Monks moving through. You can see the Tomb King tries to come through and get on Lord Skrolk, but the Rat Ogres are right there supporting. He's also getting supporting fire point blank from the Jezzails. So yeah, the Chariots had taken some damage, looks like, from some Rat Ogres. We'll see. The Skaven are able to hold the line for the time being. Rat Ogres are holding in various positions, but this one here that's kind of in between all of these units of Horseman Archers is going to be in a little bit of a rough position. But we'll see. This Tomb King, if he goes down here, that's going to be a huge loss for the leadership of the Tomb Kings. But, oh man, here comes the Chariots with a nice charge through the center. They managed to find a gap and get right on top of those Jezzails. That is going to do a ton of damage and immediately terrify them away. You can see with the collapsing mobile units of the Tomb Kings, they are going to be able to secure. That being said, this Jezzail is free to continue firing, and it looks like he may be able to squeak these other Jezzails out as well. Unfortunately, it looks like Skrolk is taking a lot of damage from the curse there, as the curse from the Tomb King just did a huge AoE damage effect to all of these units. But that being said, both the Tomb King and the Scorpion are getting pretty low on HP. If the Skaven can deal with the terror-causing units, obviously that's going to be big, but can he deal with all of this Tomb King's mobility? I think that's the biggest question. The Nekara Horsemen are just all over the place, and you can see how the... Oh man, that's a nice blast right there, but you can see how the Skaven are just not able to really secure their ranged units very effectively because of the mass mobility of the Tomb Kings here, and likewise that is going to give them the tools they need to chase off routing units. So what had initially looked pretty good for the Skaven, the Tomb Kings are going to start pulling back a little bit here as a lot of these high-value units start to rout away. It looks like there are some point-blank Jezzails here, though. Can they do enough to finish off this Tomb King? It doesn't look like it, as they are being charged by the Skeleton Horseman Archers, so yeah. It's going to be too much, I think. Arcan just excellent surround and swarm, and just, you know, interrupting the ranged units as much as possible. If the Tomb Kings, or sorry, if the Skaven had gone for just a purely rush-focused build with, like, Flayers, Doom Wheels, and all that jazz, I think he actually could have beaten the Tomb Kings pretty handily here. But because he kind of played into the expectation of bringing a bunch of Jezzails, Arcan's build ended up working out quite well here. I mean, granted, it's still not completely over. This Tomb King is still in danger of being killed off here, and it looks like he is in fact crumbling, so he may go down. If he goes down, that's going to be a rough situation, but it looks like a Spirit Leech on Skrolk as well. If Skrolk goes down, that's going to be an even bigger issue for the Skaven, just because they actually rout instead of crumble, obviously. So yeah, it looks like with Skrolk going there, that is going to trigger army losses, and that'll be it for the Skaven. Yeah, the Jezzails were a little bit clumped up there. I agree, Zero. I think he needed to spread out a little bit more. The Skaven just kind of a little bit too tight, and I think that's honestly too many Jezzails. I think you'd probably cut one, and again, just because everyone expects range spam from the Skaven nowadays, if he were to have just cut all these Jezzails, and maybe even cut the Plague Monks as well, bring like Sword and Board, Storm Vermin, and like a bunch of Flayers and maybe a Doom Wheel, and just go super heavy rush. A lot of people don't expect that from the Skaven, and you can catch them out. Like, this build really didn't have a lot of tools to deal with something like a Doom Wheel or Flayers or, you know, that sort of thing. I mean, you had the 2 armor-piercing constructs, but beyond that, there really wasn't much to deal with something like that, so yeah. Yeah, looks like that was the first one from the round to be finished, so we'll see here. Arcan taking that one, and yeah, we'll see if there's some other battles that haven't started yet. Chief versus Pugnabon. Let's see if these guys have started yet. Put the army blocker back up. Looks like these guys are not quite there yet, so we'll give them just a minute to finish up their army picks. Alright, alright. Hope y'all are doing well. 110 people now. Thank you. Thank you all so much. It's been awesome. Hopefully y'all are enjoying the stream. I'm going to be doing more competitive play going forward. I'm going to be trying to do it more frequently, certainly. But yeah. Got Zero in here, Batches, Mock Jacob, Zach Waite, Romulan, of course. Lotus Moon probably lurking still as well. All right. Here we go. So we are just about done. We really only have one more round left, guys. So we are making great time. Making great time. That's the reason why I kicked what's-his-face. It's because, yeah, he was not going fast enough. So... Oh, hopefully the stream's not lagging too much. We've had great connection up until now, so let's keep it going. Come on. Come on, Comcast. Hold out for me. Okay. That's pretty much done. And now we are here one more time. Same map, except this time the Skaven do have a little bit of a hill advantage. That being said, they didn't actually bring any artillery. I guess they do have artillery range stuff in the Jezzails. But on the other hand, the High Elves did bring some artillery. We've got 3 units of bolt throwers here, which I actually really like in this matchup. They're good against Doom Wheels. They're good against, you know, the... what's it called? The Plague Furnaces. They're good at counterfiring enemy artillery. They're good at counterfiring enemy Jezzails. So just in general, it's super useful to have. We've got 3 of them. Got some Spearmen as well to protect. A front line of 5 Dryads, of course, for the Avalorn faction. A Princess on a Star Dragon. A Mage. Looks like we've got 2 Archers and Spearmen. Yeah. Pretty interesting. I like that the Life Mage is on a Chariot. Gives her a little bit more punching power against the Skaven infantry if she needs to. And yeah, for the Skaven, we've got, let's see, 3 Jezzails, a Plague Priest, Ikit on his Doom Wheel, Clan Rats up front, with some Skaven slaves. We've got the second line of Clan Rat Spears, and 4 Rat Ogres. So again, pretty straightforward Skaven build, nothing super unexpected. We'll see how it goes, though. Certainly the Jezzails versus the Bolt Throwers will be an interesting one, but... Let's see here. I might need to reload this page. Hopefully that doesn't screw anything up. Uh-oh. What's going on with YouTube? Okay, let me just pull up my bracket here. Sorry, guys. Yeah, this is, something's not quite right here, so let's go here, and then... Huh. Okay. Says the stream's good here. Is YouTube having an issue? Well, okay. So, hopefully you guys can actually see what's happening here. I actually have no idea because my stream is not showing me what's happening, so... Okay, I think it is working. Just my dashboard's not working, so I can't necessarily see the chat. We'll get it fixed here in just a minute, but in the meantime... This battle is underway. You can see the bolt throwers popping off on the Jezzails. Jezzails coming forward, probably to try and shoot the Star Dragon, I would imagine, which is going to be the appropriate target for them. No? Are they going to actually go after the bolt throwers? That'll be interesting. We'll see. I'm curious to see how this kind of artillery... I know it's not technically artillery, but bear with me, guys. Artillery duel goes here. Should be interesting. Jezzails right now look like they're kind of taking it, but... the scatter shot is currently being used, which won't kill off models quite as fast. Personally, I actually will rather use the anti-large version, even though it's not really, you know, it's not meant against infantry. It will one-shot the unit models, so you can take down their punching power a little bit faster. But yeah, the bolt throwers right now just not quite putting out enough DPS to really be worthwhile. So let's see here. Let me try and pull this chat back up. Apologies, guys, if you were chatting and. Let's see here. As if you were chatting and... Okay. So the chat I think is broken. Like the stream looks like it's working, but I don't know. Anyway, we'll figure it out in just a minute here. I might have to restart the stream. But yeah, looks like a nice warp lightning there. Ikit gonna get jumped by the Star Dragon though. This is gonna do a lot of damage. Ikit does not want to sit in here. Looks like the Blade of Belcaradris and Talisman of Loic, or Dragonhorn rather. That does mean that this Star Dragon is super juiced up. And the Rat Ogres try and come in. The Jezzails are all going to turn and start firing, but you can see the High Elves have started to break through into the second line as the Dryads doing quite well here, actually getting into melee with some of those Jezzails, which is super, super important. Likewise, the Bolt Throwers have switched to anti-large and are now just focused on Ikit Claw, which is honestly probably a better idea. He can use these Archers to maybe go after the Jezzails or some of these other units here, but yeah, especially if he can like compromise the flank, get these Dryads up and around to interrupt them in melee. That being said, this Star Dragon is taking quite a bit of damage here, and most unfortunately, this Mage has taken quite a bit of damage as well from the Rat Ogres, and yeah, these Jezzails, they need to be interrupted as soon as possible. They are doing a lot of damage to that Star Dragon now. Granted, there is healing on the board, but yeah, we'll see. Another beautiful Warp Lightning here right on top of those Spearmen. Oh man, does a little bit of friendly fire as well, but it's not the end of the world. But yeah, these forces who are like out here scattered on the side need to come through. They could have been on top of these Jezzails by now, but looks like we do have a little bit of healing on the Star Dragon, and Earthblood upgraded there, going to be extended duration for a bit of extra healing. The Star Dragon does pop back up into the air, but yeah, these Jezzails, man, they are just being allowed to fire here for way too long. Meanwhile, the Bolt Throwers are still focused on Ikit Claw, doing some good damage. He is taking fire over time, but that Howling Warp Gale pinning the Princess in place was pretty rough. She is going to need to pull away from those Jezzails and just get into a safe position right now. Because, yeah, these Jezzails, this is good, though. These Dryads are going to be able to come in and interrupt here. He's able to get a breath attack in here. I might have actually just used that on Ikit instead, but yeah, he needs to interrupt those Jezzails. Just let them sit and fire for way too long, with those units out on the flanks especially. The Archers are focused on Rat Ogres at this point. We'll see. If the Life Mage is still around, she can heal that Star Dragon and maybe get him to come back from routing, but if the Jezzails aren't, you know, interrupted, if they're just allowed to fire free here, it's not really going to matter if it gets healed too much more. The Star Dragon will just die anyway. I'm not really sure what happened to the Sun Dragon. It must have just gotten killed easily. I don't know. Looking pretty rough for the High Elves at this point, but we'll see. They do still have this Mage online. The Star Dragon is technically still here, although not for much longer. Bolt Throwers are still focused on Ikit, so maybe he can bring this back. It's gonna be tough, though. I don't think, yeah, just the Jezzails were able to use up way too much of their ammo here. Needed to just try and break through with those Dryads and get to the second line as quickly as possible. And just the delay there was a little bit too much. You can see the Star Dragon actually does get finished off there. And despite the fact that Ikit is also getting finished off, the fact that there's still this Plague Priest, there's still all these Jezzails and Rat Ogres and all these units here for the Skaven, they are going to be able to take this. You can see the Jezzails now starting to focus on the Life Mage here. Ikit blows up. Love his little mushroom cloud death animation there, but yeah. Huh. Anyway. So, yeah. Let's keep it going. High Elves are trying to reform a little bit here to get their ranged units kind of resecured. They are able to see off a lot of these units out on the flanks. The Jezzails are almost out of ammo, so if he can stay calm here and just use the Chariot to good effect, as long as the Rat Ogres don't finish off the Mage on the Chariot, basically if the Rat Ogres and the Jezzails don't finish off this Mage Chariot, she can solo the rest of this technically, just by cycle charging for an hour, which would take a long time, but you know, she can do it. The biggest danger is obviously just these Rat Ogres, so we'll see if the Archers are able to hold against the Rat Ogres, and if the Mage here is able to help support the infantry and not get picked off by those Jezzails. Yeah, it's a lot of ifs. It's a lot of ifs, but it's possible. It's absolutely possible, especially with these Archers getting resecured here, although, yeah, there's still more Clan Rat summons coming up. It's just a tough situation. Absolutely a tough situation, so. Let's see here. Let me see if YouTube's actually working now. Okay, so, I'm not really sure what's happening here. I think YouTube is having an issue right now. I don't know. This game is pretty much decided. I think the Skaven are probably going to take this, but sorry guys, I'm just trying to figure this out here. Yeah, YouTube appears to be a little bit broken right now. I don't really know, so hopefully there's still people watching. Yeah, I mean, for me it shows the stream as still going, but I can't pull up my dashboard or like look at the chat or anything. Yeah, what is going on, YouTube? I don't know. Yeah, it's just not letting me access like the creator studio, so I don't know about that. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to try and restart the stream and see if that helps. I don't know, though, because YouTube, if it's not letting me log in, I don't really want to restart the stream and then not be able to finish. So, oh man, what is going on? I know you guys are trying to chat, but let's see. Let me see if I can chat here. Nope, error, try again. So, okay, so for whatever reason the chat is not working. Because YouTube's not letting me access the dashboard, I don't really want to log in just because, or restart the stream rather, just because I don't know if it'll actually let me restart fully. So, let's do this. Let me check here just to see how we're doing on the bracket. Looks like we've got most of this round done already. We're just waiting on one more, so that's good. But in the meantime, yeah, so that's interesting. Huh. Okay. Okay, I'm going to restart the stream. So if for whatever reason I'm not back in just a few minutes, I'll be making a post on Discord, or I'll post, I don't know, I can't really post here in the chat anyway, so just bear with me guys 1 second, I'll be right back.